Let me drop it in the Discord as well. Let me drop the link in the Discord. All right, boom. We'll drop the link right there. Boom. The link's in the Discord. I know Dorsey might not know how to get it, so let me tag him just in case he need it. All right, man. So yeah, head over to Debate Nation right now. Double tap the screen, shut a live out chat. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. I'm going to get it together right about now. Let me see, where is the Debate Nation channel? Debate Nation, boom, right here. Okay, we got a couple people over there already. All right, let me pull it up right here. Boom, boom. Okay. All right, chat. Let me get it right here. All right, chat. That looks a lot better. So yeah, if you want to hear the audio better, head over to the Debate Nation channel, and we're gonna get this shit together. We're gonna get this shit together. All right, chat. All right, we got a couple people over here, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out chat. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. We're gonna be debating Shakir and their protests be legal. Will Tom Homan make the situation better? And what do we think is coming next as far as the government shutdown and everything else, man? So yeah, we're gonna get this conversation going. I know a couple of you were interested in joining up. Now is the time. If you are interested in joining up, now is the time to shine, man. Hold on. Now is the time to shine. But yeah, chat, we are live on Debate Nation over here, man. If y'all want to join up, the audio is better on Debate Nation. You said what on Discord? The link is in the Discord. But I'm also dropping the link to the StreamYard is in Discord. Good night, right on, gal. Good night. All right, but yeah, that's the link, man, right there. If y'all want to get up here, it's also on my post. If you go to the post on the wall, we'll be right there, man. Hold on, chat. All right, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. I don't know if anybody's gonna join up right now, or if we just gonna, wait around till some people join. Hold on, man. I'm trying to switch. Devices. I'm trying to switch devices right quick, chat. Trying to switch devices. Oh shit. How do I... All right, hold on. All right, is it better now? Is it better now? All right, chat. Is the audio better now? All right, it should be better. I had to exit out of the damn StreamYard. I had to get on StreamYard from here. Somebody was just backstage. Hold on. What it do next? Next, can
What's
you hear me?
up? Hey, yeah. I'm the only one.
Yeah, for right now, so far we waiting on people to load up right quick. They say you can hear but not visible. Y'all go to the Debate Nation channel. I'm gonna put it in the pinned comment. And if you go over there to that channel, the audio will be a lot better.
For the people on YouTube, you go on to his profile, then you go to the community, and then in the community, a couple of posts down, you'll see the StreamYard, StreamYard.com or whatever. Just get some new faces.
Nah. Okay, Jason, you over here, you say it sound better over here. All right, yeah, it does sound better on the
Nah,
debate.
you sound good. You corrected whatever you were doing because I couldn't hear you first.
Okay. How do you feel about today we talking about Shakari and that protest be legal? A lot of people are saying Cash Patel came out today saying
Oh,
he
you
can't
you
hear.
you already know. I'm on the same page, even deeper because it's even more scary. Because then they put walls on, and they had him talk about, hey, record these officers because they're not even giving us our body cams. Record these officers so we can document it, so we can do things, so we can have legitimate resources. And then they turn around and call that an act of terrorism. So there goes your First Amendment out the window. You thought the Second Amendment was bad. They literally just said journalism is terrorism.
Yeah,
That's what I
I
heard.
did see, I did see Bovino say that if you're calling agents kidnappers or Gestapos, that you there will be consequences.
Yeah, and they building a list. This is you remember? Hey, can't wait till we get to the homegrowns. I believe is what he said on that hot mic.
Crazy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though, you're like, oh man, I never thought I'd see the day. I'm like, bro, it's what they're gonna do that as soon as they can. As Patriot Act, bro. They was already on it. Alex Jones was right, but now Alex Jones simping. Like, I don't know, man. It's been like that.
Jason, you gonna have to turn your damn self down, man. You got to turn me down, man. The audio's all right, man. They saying it's a new Holocaust camp. Oh yeah, that was. Did you see that video I put up that they were showing of
Yes, I
the
did.
detention camp in Texas with the
Yes,
color
I did.
coded? Yeah, that was
And I
crazy.
heard they got medical facilities around it that weren't there before. I don't know
Mm.
how true that is. I heard Neuralink was one of them. I don't know how true that is. That's a scary thought. And I also heard that they have people go missing. And then even if a politician goes there, then they get kicked out. And like there are actual hundreds of people that are unaccounted for, at least from their loved ones. So best case scenario, it's just what it is, and it'll shake up well at the end. Worst case scenario, I mean, shit.
Yeah, I seen a instance in El Paso where they said, "Hey, Jason, it's in the Discord. The link in the Discord, Jason. You got the Discord, or it's on the Plug Station community wall." But they also said that in El Paso, a detainee had his testicles busted.
Yeah, torture. And we also have another detainee that was like raped by ICE. A few of that. A few
Great.
have
I was gonna
happened.
say great.
Prostitution as well. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Undertaker, you new here, subscribe. I'm live on two channels. On Plug Station is the main channel. This is the Debate Nation channel. We waiting on a couple more people to load up. But if you're new here, Undertaker, welcome in. Subscribe. My name is Plug. The main channel, we coming up on like 44,000 subscribers. This is the debate channel. We coming up on 1,000 subscribers. Nice to have you, Undertaker.
Hey, and to all those people on the comments that say Ice Ice Baby or whatnot, I understand how you feel. It is a problem. The border was a problem. All of this is a problem. But we should not stoop low. We should not lose our virtues as Americans, and we should not lose our Constitution, and we should not be evil in order to accomplish these things, these issues. I completely agree that immigration needs to get tightened up, definitely. But if you're simping for Nazi sympathizers, basically, if you're okay with your country being the very thing that our greatest generation, apparently, quote unquote, was thoroughly against and sacrificed 500,000 military lives to be against, then what are you? I think that that idea is very un-American, more un-American than a Mexican. That is the enemy of the American idea in the last century.
No, most definitely. Most definitely. Jason, there goes the link. You said we should not let criminal conspiracy stop our law enforcement.
Yes, very true, but we need to maintain our integrity as law enforcement by default.
Okay. Casper, welcome to the stage.
Hey, y'all, how you doing tonight?
Man,
Good
we
day.
doing all right, man. Welcome in. Welcome in.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you inviting me in. Mad respect. Everybody I've tried to talk to tonight to speak the truth to has ridiculed me, left and right. So I just went looking and found you, brother, and I appreciate you wanting to listen.
Okay, go ahead. Give your thoughts and opinion.
Okay, so talking about this shooting that happened on Saturday, we all have the right videos and viewpoints, but what was shown to me today was what a lot of people are missing. Now, when I chimed in on your site, you were showing the right angle, uh, but what people are missing is the very first gunshot. Okay, and I know it sounds strange because people look at the angle from the sidewalk when they're talking about the gunshots, right? If you feel me, and you hear a pop, 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 right?
Yeah, they saying
Uh,
that agent, they saying that gray gun, they saying it was the gun they took off of the man.
right. Okay. Well, I know a little bit about firearms, and the gun that they took off the guy was a Sig Sauer P320.
Right.
Now, what's not known by and large about that gun is that it's highly suspect. It's probably the worst gun Sig Sauer ever made. Okay. Um, Now, if you're watching the view of the incident from the perspective of the middle of the street, looking at kind of an angle towards the car and they're dogpiling on them, you'll see the agent pull the gun from the dude and turn around and try and cut across the street. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Uh, okay, so when he's doing that, someone walks in front of the camera, right? Just real quick, walks past in front of the camera. Now, if you pause as that person is walking past the camera and do a frame by frame and zoom in on that man with the gun as he's taking it away, you will see the slide go back, right? Like it's shot, right? And you'll see
Yo, we
a
saw
small
it.
flash.
Yo,
You'll
we
see a
saw it.
small flash, right? You'll see a small flash and a little bit of recoil. It's a 9mm. It's not going to recoil like my 45 does, right? You feel me? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with the 9mm. I prefer 45 HCP myself. I'm just old school like that.
You got a
Okay, but
1911?
I have two 1911s. I have a real Colt that was made in 1974. I've only shot it one time, and I keep it because it's old. But I have a Springfield 1911. It used to be my father's, and when he passed, I got that. So I have two actually, and I have a Beretta 380. Those are my daily carries. And I'm old. Of course. 59 years old. I came up on cowboys, so I like the lever action guns more than I like the, combat style assault style, whatever style, like that.
Definitely.
But I digress. If you go back and look at the view of where from the sidewalk where the cop pulls his gun out, right? And you see him and he's got his gun and he's kind of holding it. And this is a shooting technique thing. And if you've been formally trained in technique or law enforcement or anything like that, when you're in that close, you pop off 3 rounds and then stop, and then pop off 2 or 3 rounds and then stop, right? But what we hear in the audio, check it out. Hear me just for 1 second.
Hold on, I'm gonna let you finish, but that's not what we see in where I'm from. Where I'm from, if law enforcement discharges their firearm, they're gonna empty the clip immediately. That's just where I'm from.
Right, and that is where I'm from as well. But the only thing that I can say to dissuade you from that point is that there were so many officers around and he was worried about officer safety. Right. Okay? You feel me? All right. Now, hear this. If you listen to the audio, right, you hear pop and then a pause, just real quick pause, and then pop, 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 like training, right? Now you go back to that other angle from the street where that kid walks by the camera, zoom in on my man's gun, and you will see it discharge. All right. And if you've got your audio up, you'll hear that pop, pause, pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, that's exactly what I seen as well. When we broke it down, I seen that as well. I seen the gun go off. I seen the officer when they were yelling gun, gun, gun. I seen the officer draw his gun. And I said yesterday that before the officer had turned, the guy in the gray had turned all the way around, a shot had already went off.
Exactly. That is exactly it.
So what I did realize throughout the situation is that they haven't confirmed nor denied if multiple officers shot their gun. They're dancing around that question.
Oh, of course. Once one guy fires, you've got to suspect that others are going to fire. Now, when you see all the officers back away from the guy, there were upwards of 5 more shots fired. Some say up to 12. I wasn't really counting at that point because, if he's shot like that, he's already dead. And the video, when it comes out in court, they'll count the shots. So, there it is. But the very first shot that was fired, right? And I hate to say in defense of the officer that first fired his weapon, because I believe he was definitely scared and probably knew. Okay. He heard that shot and his training made him react in such a way.
Everyone's training, new or veteran.
I also am a veteran.
No, I'm saying the cops. Everyone's training caused all of them to react that way, even the ones without being new. So
right. I agree 100%. I agree.
So what they know doesn't matter.
Right.
Let me answer the chat right here because I got another chat going. They're saying not smart to be wrestling with a weapon. Breeze, I don't think he was wrestling with the weapon. He got pepper sprayed and he was getting snatched. He was holding on to the woman that was still on the ground when he got snatched. When he got to the ground, he immediately went to a fetal position and he was getting hit in the head. Now, whether he was getting pistol whipped or I think it was the pepper spray can. When I looked really close, it almost looked like that pepper spray can he was getting hit on the head with. So now he's covering his head. So he wasn't really wrestling with the gun. He was pepper sprayed. He was blocking the woman.
That's
and then
what I don't like the
pepper
most.
sprayed. You got to think of the situation. They're using.
Everyone saw his hands.
let me finish. They're using bear spray damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is some powerful shit that they got over there. So at that point that he's pepper sprayed, he wasn't steady, like he was, his back was turned and they took him to the ground. So he wasn't fighting shit. He was down in a fetal position.
Right. Now, I wanted to touch on something else that I saw at the very beginning of the video. Looking from the middle of the street into the situation, you could see him get pepper sprayed, and he's going to try and help that girl up, the one that fell by the tire, right? When he bends down and goes to pick her up, right? I do believe his coat slid up, and those officers saw that firearm, and you know what a cop does, and brother, you know what a cop will do when you see a gun and he feels some sort of way, right?
Correct.
And,
Correct.
and I think that's
and
what,
I'm not, and that's my whole thing is I'm not saying that can't happen. In this situation, it can happen. What I'm saying is everything following the shooting has been wrong.
absolutely.
Most of the time, if it's state, local, or county law enforcement, they turn in their badge and their gun and they're put on leave until the investigation is done. They're not just damn taken out of the state and back out on the field. There's an
Also,
Right.
investigation.
was
You're
the lady
absolutely correct
impeding?
about that. That is highly suspect.
Does anyone know if the lady was in fact impeding? Because it looked like they crossed the road to get to her.
I can only guess that she was. I can't say how
The
I know
evidence of
about.
the videos that I've seen, guessing that she was, is opposite. Unless if she was in the way of the doorway in which they're trying to come to, they crossed the road to get to her. So impeding is camera. And that seems to be the rhetoric right now, that filming is terrorism. And I wonder if they have a memo to treat filming as terrorism.
See,
Because it seems like they're going to the people with cameras.
Next, hold on. They released something today. I got to go do my research, but I had it bookmarked that they're floating the idea of letting AI create policy.
Oh, that sucks. No, we should not do that. No.
They already do, though.
AI is the devil.
Yeah.
That'll get us all killed.
I think that's the point.
Right? Look, I'm trying to keep my personal political thing out of it, you know.
That's why we're here, baby.
To be truthful, I will be forthcoming, and in all fairness, I will say I am a conservative. I will not. I'm not a Republican. I lean more towards libertarian, but I am
likewise
what a lot of libertarians would call a conservatarian. I'm down with the Constitution, and I'm all about don't fuck with me, and I won't fuck with you, and you know what I mean. So I'm not like this hard, Republican guy or anything like that. But I am a conservative, and I do try and keep my conservative views out of it. Now, when I said that I believe she was impeding, the cops did come across the street to get her. The car that was there, the white car that was there, was a lead car in the Ice Watch, and the guy that got shot was one of the coordinators at the protest, coordinating different things and moving people around, and like that he was more of a higher up rather than a sign carrier, if you know what I mean. Why he was carrying, I don't know. I mean, if I was there, I'd probably be carrying too. But that's to me, that part of it is irrelevant because it's a 2A thing. He had every right to do it as long as he was doing it within the bounds of the law. Great, when and it's hard because there's no real video of it, and it's hard to say whether she was being arrested.
There is video. I know there's video.
Other than the fact that they were pursuing her, you know what I mean?
They're not showing the video.
Yeah, when he stepped in between the officer and the girl, whether he was trying to help her up or not, in just about every cop in the world's mind, that they would say that was impeding, and at that point, they would have due cause to proceed with detainment and possibly arrest or something like that. That's just the way that I was seeing what was going on.
Well, if that white car was ICE, then
No, the white car
don't
was not
don't
ICE. It was
stand in
ICE
front of a
Watch.
car,
No, it
right?
was
Don't
ICE
stand in front of a
Watch.
car.
No. I think you misunderstood what I said. It wasn't ICE. It was the ICE Patrol, ICE Watch. The people that were going after
Oh, that
and
was their
intimidating.
car.
That's
That
what
was
I'm
their
saying.
Okay,
car.
That's why I'm
Yes.
saying it
listen though.
wasn't.
ICE
That's
Watch is
why I'm
not a
saying it
terrorism
wasn't
and
a
it's not
protest.
impeding.
That's why I'm saying it wasn't a
Well, it can
protest.
be. It can be. It all
People
depends
are
on the
going
person.
missing.
It
People are going
it
missing.
all
If my cousin's
it,
half
it, it
Mexican and he gets picked up, we don't know until he's in Mexico or in Uganda.
What I'm saying is
okay.
this. One second.
I
Hold on,
can't speak
KG.
on that because I
Hold
don't
on,
know.
That is
KG.
the service they provide, though. That is the
Hold
whole
on.
thesis of them being there.
Okay.
What I'm gonna say is, oh, they said that's your opinion. Somebody asked a question. That's what I wanted to. Fryer said, if we're saying that AI is the devil, then Trump is the Antichrist. That's what he wanted me to tell y'all.
I don't think we've seen the true Antichrist yet. But speaking on that, I believe that agents of the Antichrist, as the Bible had prophesied, agents of the Antichrist are making the way for the Antichrist to rise up.
But also,
That
At all times.
I wanted to say that
yeah,
this whole thing has been a shit show because that wasn't a protest. Like they said, they were arresting an undocumented person. They have neighborhood watches. That was a neighborhood watch, like you just spoke of.
Exactly.
And they were recording because, like Nick spoke of, people, it's been situations going on. So the whole rhetoric of you can't lawfully carry a firearm with magazines loaded to a protest, where the fuck is that even coming from?
I have no
Also,
idea. I disagree with
also,
that 100%.
think about this. So if those people are trying to document what ICE is doing because ICE will not release any information, then the leader who does it, who is very organized, who has a gun, he is also ER. He is also military adjacent at the very least. So this is a leader of the community. This is not
Yeah,
some random kid throwing a rock out a window. That
right.
white car is a community car. These people are doing a community service. Yes, okay, sometimes for immigrants. But nonetheless,
Right.
we're doing it for these reasons because if they weren't there, then what else could happen? Like if we didn't have cameras, how would this go?
Okay.
We
Well,
would
following
all
that
believe
line of
everything.
You
Cash
okay.
said
Patel,
when you
you know.
show up to a peaceful protest with a gun and cell phone and say you're there to protest, but that wasn't a situation. That wasn't a protest situation. Where are the picket signs? Where are the other people? It was 8 people on the fucking total street, a downtown street. That was ICE Watch. Yes, they're organized. Yes, they do have signal chats and they're very organized, but
As
this
they
Yes,
is
they
should
not a
are.
be.
protest.
As they
What I
should be.
want people to realize is that these figureheads that are getting up here speaking on this situation want to push the information of this was a protest because that fucking video went viral of that black guy sitting on the back of the car with that AR and they was mad about it. They was really fucking mad about it. Now they trying to conflate this incident and a protest and just jumble it all together. This was not a fucking protest. This was an isolated incident where some people witnessed them trying to arrest an undocumented immigrant.
Okay, yeah, going back to the community and the ICE Watch being a service to the community. Yes, I would agree with that by and large, but um, in all fairness, in all truth, um, the same can be said about ICE. They are there doing. Please, they're there doing a very difficult job under very difficult circumstances, and being attacked in some cases. A guy got his finger bit off last night.
In that case,
You know,
not that case. We have to stop throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
I'm not
We
trying to
have to
throw the
stop
baby
doing
out
that.
with the bathwater, brother, but
Don't shoot the cameraman.
we can't.
How about that,
We
Ice?
don't.
If you do
Right, but
that,
you can't shoot.
it'll
You
be all
can't
right.
shoot the messenger, dude. Okay, you can't shoot
No
the
one,
messenger.
they're shooting the
If you
messenger. That's
need,
literally what they're doing.
well, the messenger is ICE,
No, the messenger is the
and
journalist, is the cameraman, is the person who's
77
making
million
sure everything is
people,
documented.
77 million people voted for that.
Understood.
Oh, right. So
They didn't vote to shoot the cameraman.
right, but they're out there doing what
Shooting
the
cameramen.
Congress. They're doing what Congress and the
Mm-hmm.
federal government since
There's a
2003
lot of
have
good people in ICE who are doing a
have
lot of good things.
mandated them to do.
Fuck the pedophiles. Fuck any undocumented immigrant who ever comes over here and makes so much fucking noise and they think that they could just do it because they ain't got a fucking social security card. Fuck all of them.
Look,
Yeah.
look. I feel you, brother, and I can feel your passion and your emotion, and it's a very emotional thing and a very emotional situation. Okay, but you have to try and look at both sides of it. Is what I'm saying. Damn it, I just spilled that. I'm sorry.
I saw some clowns shoot the cameraman.
You know,
I am
there's a
looking at
lot of
both sides.
clown. There's a lot
I
of clowning
wish
that's
the
going
best
on
for Donald
both
Trump's
sides,
administration.
because those protests are definitely not peaceful. Okay, definitely
Yeah.
not peaceful.
And I don't
You
like
know,
those guys because they're
right?
fucking it up for us.
But
They're fucking it up for us. They're fucking it up for ICE. They're fucking it up for everybody because they're making it not be able to go forward. They need to not
yes,
throw anything at glass. They need to organize and get with that guy that just got killed. I bet you he's involved with a lawyer. Renee Good was a lawyer. These people are the people who need to lay down the piping, you know? And we need to sign petitions, really. That's really what needs to be happening. They need to be on the ground, signing petitions, making sure that all of these undocumented immigrants that get kidnapped are accounted for. All of these things are actual other footwork things that need to be done that our administration is refusing to do. And that's the only problem. They're refusing to do it. They're refusing to give any intel.
coffee. I got it.
If they could just be transparent, we would have a transparent president.
All right, look, okay, all right, okay. Everybody get off my fucking back.
Oh, mute up. Mute up, KG.
You just steal my house.
I had to mute you up, KG. I ain't want everybody in your business, man. You back?
Yeah, just give me 1 second, please.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right, man.
What's up, Plug?
What it do, Lala?
I'm chilling. I just wanted to add one more thing into the pot. Not gonna stay long. So something that I saw that I thought was very important. The ICE agent that took that initial shot or the only shot, when we watched the video, I could see him push the guy in the gray jacket back so that he can get a clear shot. So I feel like he saw the guy in the gray jacket disarm Alex because I could see him push it.
I think he's seen the gun come out, but I think the shot spooked him. I think he might have seen the gun come out, but I think the shot spooked him and he just reacted. And I think that situation, it needs to be brought forward. All the facts need to be presented against case law so the American public can have, closure. We can know what went on. We don't need to demonize lawful carrying because of it. It's just how I think it went on. When the shot went off, I expect, shots to go off. I expect officers to start shooting. And that's not what I'm sitting here saying. Should have it went on like that? No. But that is something that happens, especially when high stressful situations, people timid, scared, probably, been going through a lot. But we need to have all facts presented at court. What's been going on, to just dismiss everything and just say, hey, it is what it is fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, I agree. But I
Because it happened
also,
like that. Soon as the shot went off, when the gun misfired, boom, the officer started shooting. So it was within a second. It was within a single second.
I
I
hope.
can kind of get down with that, but I really can't because my thought process is why didn't you start looking around? If I see you take a gun off somebody and then I hear a shot and I push you
Boom.
to get out the way to start shooting, why wouldn't I look around? I already know that it shouldn't be coming from where I just saw the gun leave from. I would be
Yeah,
looking around like who's shooting at the crowd.
I
That's a
understand.
training. It's a
I
training
understand.
thing.
I understand where you coming from as well. I know myself. I probably would have got the shooting. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Situation like that, I already drew my weapon. Boom, shots go off. I probably would have got the shooting as well. But he shouldn't be just skate off the hook like shit. Let's bring this shit to court and see what was actually going on. What are the facts presented? I'm not saying that I'm not human and that if I'm in a high stressful situation and I already have my gun drawn because there's gun involved in the situation, that I wouldn't have shot him. I'm not
If I
saying that,
didn't see
but
that
we need to
man's
bring that to
hand,
court. Even
But who's
then,
to say
even
where the
even
shots come
seeing,
from?
even I'm saying, even seeing the gun,
no.
it's just
If I've
so
seen
much
his
going on
hand,
so fast.
if I've seen the man's hands, I may or may not have shot given what I see with the hands. Because I see what
Because
you're
you
saying.
already draw.
Yeah,
I'm saying if
definitely.
you already drawn,
I
if you
wonder how
already drawn,
many.
and the shot goes off that close to you, I don't
I
think
hope this
anybody
isn't
in
the
this
case,
situation, huh?
but it feels like it could be the case. How many of those shooters had a visual on that man's hand? Hands, two hands. They were all on top of him. Did any of those shooters have a visual on that man's hands? Once again, I
Something
hope that's not the case.
something that I think that isn't being addressed either is the fact that most people that I am in contact with in my area don't just carry one gun. We carry a primary in the front or on the side, and a secondary in the small of the back.
No, that's how you get away with
Um,
murder. You drop the gun and have them pick it up.
well,
Yeah,
look,
Anyone that's
I'm
carrying
not
two
there.
guns is out here trying to kill people at Walmart, bro.
Listen, I might, I might get unalived in a gunfight, but it ain't going to be for a lack of shooting back there. Come on.
what I'm saying is this though. This is what I want because the other chat's talking to me as well. Hold on, before we get too far off topic. The guy on the ground was in a fetal position. He was getting hit on his head. I'm saying that as an observer from looking at it from all these angles. But in that situation, if I'm hearing gun, 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 I'm drawing my gun out at the same time this officer is pulling his gun out. Once the shot goes off, it might just be a knee-jerk reaction. Some people just boom, you know what I'm saying? And now once the shot
Exactly.
goes off, it goes off. That needs to be presented in court. It shouldn't be just written off, is what I'm saying.
And I
That's
feel like
my
that's
stance.
negligent.
Exactly.
That's my stance, and if you disagree with me, that's fine.
Because if
Join
I
the
point the
panel.
gun at the
Talk about
direction
it.
of where shots are fired, and I see that guy, I see his hands.
Have
That's
you
all
been
I'm
in a
wondering.
shootout
That's
before? I'm
all
just
I'm wondering.
asking. Have you been in a shootout before?
Hell
Not
no.
okay.
I
Yes, I
mean,
have.
people have shot
I
fired,
absolutely have.
but no, I've never
On
been
the,
shot at and
I'm
shot
just
back.
asking
No.
for perspective. Okay, I get
I'm
it now.
talking about I was in a shootout in West Philadelphia.
Don't tell all your business now. You can just say
Oh, I'm
yes or no.
sorry.
It is what it is.
No, well,
Because that's a
I am a
different
veteran.
perspective. I'm just
No,
saying
I
it's a
am a
Now,
different
I
veteran, but
usually
I was
perspective.
dip out before the shit gets hot, really. That's what I'm good for.
I was just I was just trying to say that I'm not trying to put my business out there like that, but yes, I was a veteran and I was involved with that type of situation as well as street level type situation. So I do come to the conversation with some unique knowledge. Well, maybe not unique. Maybe not unique,
I'm
but
just
you know
gonna
what I'm
say
saying.
I've had some experience. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Hey, amen,
not.
brother.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a different scenario. Like if you,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a
It is
different
what it is.
scenario.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, absolutely. You know, something else that I was concerned about was that from the sidewalk angle, uh, I saw him getting to his knees and being pushed back down, and he had something else in his hand that I could not identify. Could that have been, you know, a micro
Well,
concealed carry? I don't know,
well,
but
he
I
was
did see
They
initially
that.
only
had a
they
cell
only
phone.
claiming they took one gun off of him, so we know that he didn't have a
Okay,
second gun.
okay, that's cool. I hadn't heard. You know, I knew they took away one, but I hadn't heard if they had found a second firearm, you know, or not.
Yeah, the gun that they took off of him, the one that they're showing us is a stock photo, allegedly. They
Yeah,
did the research, they cross-referenced it, and that picture's been on the internet for a while. So they're touting
right,
it as an evidence photo, but when actuality it's a reference photo.
right. Now there is video that can be researched um, of a retired military man that did his own testing and videotaped his own testing on that particular Model 6R, the P320.
We watched it.
Uh,
I showed it on there. He made it fire 3 times by just pressing the barrel.
Yeah, so by the
And
way,
that's
Sig need
crazy,
to get
huh?
some smoke too, though. Like Sig need to get some smoke though.
Yeah, I believe.
Like
Hey,
y'all
I
can't be
totally
stealing
hold on,
that.
believe.
y'all. Let's not be rude. Let's welcome Steve to the stage. Man,
What's up,
Steve,
Steve?
what's going on?
So, what's up,
Hey,
guys?
what's
Hey,
happening,
Lala, I ain't said
Steve?
hi to Lala.
I got a
Good
question.
evening, brother. Good
So,
Hey,
evening.
Steve. How are
as
you
a
today?
so, good. So my question is: at any time, did that guy have a gun in his hand? The answer is no. So all the stuff that you're saying doesn't matter because he never had a gun in his hand. His hands were visible. They were there. He was covering his face up, like Paul was saying, like you can see in the video. So everything. I mean, again, there's rules of engagement. Like I'm ex-military too, so all my ex-military guys right here, thank you for being my brothers in arms. But
Amen.
in
Thank
the
you.
I was in the infantry, like some of you guys may have been, and we have rules of engagement. So, if you were in a combat zone, the rule of engagement, and shot that guy like that, you'd be up on charges.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It should. I'm getting at. I'm not refuting what you're saying. I'm saying that in that situation, once the gun goes off, a lot of people would have shot that gun. Now, should he be charged with it? Should it be brought on charges and the case be presented exactly like you say?
Body
Yes.
cam.
If he's found guilty, he's guilty. If he's not guilty, he's not. I'm just saying, in that situation with your gun already drawn, shot goes off that close to you, knee-jerk reaction happens a lot of times. Are the rules of engagement violated? More than likely, yes. Is it right? No. But does it happen? Yes. That's why it should be brought to court, in my
And do they
opinion.
have immunity? That's the question. Do they have immunity from that? That's my question, Blood. Do you think they should have immunity from that? Because
They
Trump wants to
should
give them
not
all.
have immunity. I was fighting
It all
against
depends
immunity
on how it
to
plays
when
out in court.
when Trump first introduced immunity to all federal agents, I was one of the damn loudest voices on YouTube against the shit.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how it plays out in court because there should be no immunity. Everybody should be able to be prosecuted. No one's above the law, or you are above the law. We have to decide what we're going to accept. And right now, ICE isn't a law enforcement agency. They're a personal army for the president, and they're a terrorist acting as terrorists because they're terrorizing the public.
That's
That was terror right
absolutely a
there.
lie. That's absolutely a
That was
lie.
that.
That's not true.
Hold on. Your somebody's mic is crackling and it's terrible.
That might be yours. The guy
Is
was
it?
talking last.
I'm on
Is it
mute.
me? Can you hear me?
Nah, go ahead though. Now
Mic
present
check.
your.
Mic check.
Yeah,
Mic
Mic check.
okay. So
mic check.
I see that Casper and Steve have a disagreement right now. So Casper, I'm gonna let you present your argument, and Steve disagrees. So we'll give him the floor to rebuttal.
Okay, so in
No, I was going.
2003,
No, let Casper
uh,
state it. Let Steve state his argument first because you said that wasn't true. So the chat can hear
oh,
what
okay.
Steve
Oh, go
said.
right ahead. Yeah, my bad. I apologize. Please pontificate.
All right. So
Go
just
ahead,
look at
Steve.
what look at what a terrorist, what the purpose of terror is: kill one, terrorize a dozen, and that's basically what ICE is doing. ICE often says right now, and it was somebody heard them say, "Hey, you better do this. Did you see what just happened to the other person? That's terrorism." So they're using this as a form of terrorism. They aren't saying, "Hey, we're so sorry we shot this guy. This won't happen again. However, these are the ways we can stop it." No, they're saying, "Threaten us, and we're going to kill you." That's terrorism.
Okay, that's great. That's terrorism. So first of all, the evidence that you present, it can only be considered anecdotal and secondhand when it comes to speaking about what some ICE officer may or may not have said. Now, when it comes to what you said that ICE is not law enforcement, that is a complete lie. Okay, in 2003, ICE was formed as a law enforcement agency. They are a federally funded law enforcement agency. Okay, which means their jurisdiction is anywhere in the United States of America. All right, they are law enforcement. Now, about immunity, that's something for a court to decide. All right. I don't believe a president has the power to give anybody 100% complete immunity. All right. And something else that I think people are forgetting is that, ICE agents are human beings. Okay. They make mistakes. Okay. And that's amplified when they have hundreds and sometimes thousands of people, in most cases, being unruly. At least some of them. I'm not going to say everybody, okay, because that would be wrong, right? But people being unruly, spitting, throwing things, blocking streets, using their cars to block them, all of that stuff. That's very dangerous stuff, man. And yeah, it could and very well may be considered to be impeding, which is actually a felony. So the other thing about ICE and law enforcement is that since 2003, every president, okay, has used ICE to deport illegal immigrants. If you're here illegally, that's all they need. Okay, they don't need a search warrant. It's not required.
Oh, wrong. Nope,
No,
that's not.
dude,
Sorry,
no,
my bad.
no,
My
no.
bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
Okay,
Go ahead. Finish.
you don't need a search warrant. Okay, you don't need an arrest warrant, is what I meant to say. I apologize, but I misspoke. Now, when it comes to who they're arresting, yeah, sometimes people get caught up. Okay. And by and large, those people are released relatively quickly. Okay. Relatively quickly. Mistakes are made. These are human people. Okay. And by and large, the people that they are taking off the streets are pedos and rapists and wife beaters and murderers, gang members, drug dealers. These are not your neighbor that goes to work and want to pay taxes. These are the people that they're looking for. Now, if they do happen to find somebody that is an illegal immigrant, that is in this country illegally or overstayed a visa, then they will scoop them up and send them back home too. I mean, that's
Okay.
just how it works.
Can I respond to what you're saying? Because there's, no
Yes.
disrespect, Casper. There's a
No,
lot.
go ahead.
There's a lot of fallacies that you've mixed in there, and I'll start from the top. Number one, I know you misstated, but they should have a search warrant. There has been no other administration in the past that has covered their face. There has been no other administration in the past that has gone in without a search warrant or without a warrant. Like they're looking for key people. These guys are literally rounding anybody on the street up, and that's kind of what the Gestapo used to do. And you keep saying that they're human. Okay, guess what? We're all human. All right, we're all human,
Can I
and that's
ask a question? I don't know for sure, but I was having this conversation a few nights ago, and someone stated that they have, I believe, 10 days to send a warrant. I just want to know, is that true?
I don't know that isn't either, but they're trying to cut corners, and they're not abiding by the law. They're not getting warrants. Matter of fact, they just passed a new thing that says they can kick somebody's door in, and that's what there's violating your Fourth Amendment, right? So a lot of what they're doing has never been done before. That's why they have to cover their faces. And if they are humans, like, I know their job is hard, but there's been no other administration that's had this kind of difficulty, because no other administration has broken the law like this. Not even Trump in his first term was breaking the law like this. So let's look inward and say, what is ICE doing that's wrong? It's not the public that's wrong. It's the organizations that are doing this that are at fault.
Your mic is crackling. I think you might be too far away from your Wi-Fi box or something, or you got
To me,
headphones on.
is my mic crackling?
Yeah, yeah, it's yours.
Okay, hang on, let me see.
If you turn down the gain a little bit, if you
Or
can
you
turn
might
down
have
the
it
gain a little
plugged
bit,
up.
that might help.
If you have it on the charger, it'll do that as well.
Oh yeah, that might be it too. Okay, if I may, in retort.
Is that better? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah,
Okay,
that is a little better. Yeah.
Go ahead, Casper.
If I may, in retort, the reason why when Obama, for instance, because the people on the right like to call him the deporter in chief. Yeah, he did a pretty good job. He got 5 million people back to their countries. And you are correct. They didn't use masks then. Okay. Excuse me. The reason they weren't using masks then versus now is because of the doxing situation, the threats on law enforcement's lives and families. Okay. And on top of that, under the Obama administration, while he was deporting people, and he wasn't just deporting criminals, he was deporting, guy building a house. He was deporting everybody. 5 million people, dude. Nobody said a word. Nobody. The left, the right, nobody.
That says something.
Hello, exactly. You nailed it. You're getting closer.
But now that everybody hates Trump, I don't even like Trump, and I'm, more conservative, but now people have this stigma around Trump that anything he does has got to be protested. It's got to be stopped. It's got to be, and people have a mindset. And especially if you get into, large groups of people, they share this mindset, and things get a little crazy. Now,
Casper, real quick.
a
Okay,
person,
go back.
a person is, listen to me, a person is smart, right? A person is very smart, okay? And they know, okay? People, when you get them together, are stupid, and they will do stupid things. And if you've got outside influences influencing them and telling them, all of this stuff, it riles them up, and it makes them want to do more violent things towards the thing that they don't like. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Okay, so with what you just said, hey, were you gonna say something? What's your name, man?
Yes.
Yeah. What's your name?
Next, I guess.
Hey, was it next? Yes, go ahead, and then I'll go next.
Hey, just like what I said before, we have to be careful with throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Yes, they are doing a job, but it's about how they do their job.
Yes. Oh,
no, something happened. I think I just lost a couple of people.
He ended up kicking himself off the panel. I'm sure he'll load right back up. Everybody go check the screen shuttle live out. We're 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. XX, what to do? Welcome in. If you guys are on the Plug Station channel watching this conversation and debate, you can get better audio if you head over to the Debate Nation channel. That is my channel. It's our debate channel. It's the pinned comment. If you want better, clear audio, join the Debate Nation channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers anyway, man. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Do not gatekeep this. Go ahead.
Definitely subscribe.
So Casper,
definitely subscribe. And I would like to give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat and everybody that's participating, man. Good on you. This is what we need. Civil discourse. This is how we fix the problem. Civil discourse, man. Always remember that I am not your enemy. You are not my enemy. We need to talk it through
100%.
and come to common ground.
No, most
right.
definitely. Go ahead, Nick. You had the floor to finish your thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's about what they do. And what he was saying with terrorism, you are correct, Casper. I think Casper, you're correct.
Yes.
They are a body of law enforcement brought to you by the Patriot Act, which was very sus. But they are a body
Oh, I
of law
hate that fucking
enforcement
thing.
that all of the public should respect, as long as it's constitutional.
Agreed.
And their conduct matters. We cannot, just
Agreed.
because they're a body of law doesn't mean that they get to cross the street and shoot the cameraman. And
Amen.
that's the main argument for all of us moderates. The main argument
Right.
for all of us moderates is what we're seeing is not law enforcement. What we're seeing is terrorism. And also in 2024, in the campaign, Donald Trump did call his books. He did say, hey, I'm going to go to these blue cities and I'm going to wreak havoc because I don't like them. He said that many times, many different ways. It's undeniable unless if you're blinded by politics, because he literally said it. He says things and people think he's joking. And then when he does things, people say that's not what he really means. But he's doing what he said.
No, he's doing
Hey,
what
I
he
take
said.
that man
Absolutely.
seriously.
Yeah.
Casper, real quick.
That's why he,
Let me get my thought in, and I want to hear
Oh,
from
my
you on
fault.
this. So
Please go ahead. I apologize.
I agree with everything Nex is saying, and on top of that, I'd like to add that you said during the Obama, and by the way, it was the left that called Obama deporter in chief. The left was outraged at what he was doing. However, they did it by the law, and they didn't cover their bases, and they used warrants, and they used due process. So that's why the left, even though they hated him and called him deporter in chief, they still had to respect his actions. So let's keep that honest. And you're right, there is people that fall for rhetoric and will be outraged for that. We saw that January 6th, and that's been that part of Trump's base. His base will believe anything that he says, even though we look at it with our own eyes and see the evidence, and then Bondi or Patel will come on and tell you the exact opposite of what you just saw. So that's to me is the problem, is that we have to either believe our eyes or listen to the propaganda that's coming from the state, the current regime.
Agreed.
I'm with Plug. I'm gonna believe my eyes.
The rhetoric, in all fairness, comes from both sides. And to touch on the terrorism thing that we were talking about, with these mostly peaceful protests, air quotes, a lot of what they are doing can be considered terrorism as well. You mess with one and the rest see it and are scared. It's the only way to be fair about that. When you were speaking constitutionally, show me in the Constitution anywhere that says somebody that illegally comes into this country is granted constitutional rights. Now, they are granted. They are granted. Okay,
it's not about
they
them.
are granted
it's about our
human
conduct
rights.
and who we are.
They are granted human rights. Okay, we're not going to torture them. We're not going to beat them up, that kind of thing, right? But they do not have a Second Amendment. They do not have a First
do
Amendment.
not enter homes without proper.
They're not allowed to vote. They don't enjoy. They don't enjoy the protections of the Constitution.
This is actually a legally debated
including
thing.
the Fourth and Fifth Amendment. Brother, I'm not interrupting you, bro. I try and be respectful. So please, all right. The people that come into this country illegally, right? However they get here, if it's a visa overstay, they swim from Cuba, they cross the southern border. Doesn't matter how they get here, okay? If they come here and they're not supposed to be here, they are not covered under the Constitution in any way, except for basic human rights under the Geneva Convention. That is the only thing that they enjoy. There is no, we're going to get a warrant. If we know you're in there, we're going to kick the door in. That's how our current system works. Okay. And I encourage, it is true, dude. It is absolutely true.
I don't have these citations, so I can't really argue.
Brother.
One at a time. Just Casper, let him talk. Okay. Let him respond to you.
Okay.
No. I can't respond because I don't have the citations, but I've heard of those legal arguments before, and it's about what we are as a nation and what we do. And it says it. It says that if you read the Constitution, it literally has parts where it says it. I forget where. I can't really cite it by heart, but I've done this conversation before in a more depth way. I've read about it. I've actually read the Constitution. Everyone's read the Constitution. I'm not saying that you haven't, but it is in law, in actual Supreme Court law, they have many rulings saying the contrary. It has never ruled to what you're saying. There is much evidence towards it.
Let me respond, guys. Let me respond. All right. So to what you just said, number one, again, you're shifting the goalposts. We're talking about 2 citizens that were just murdered. Okay.
Yes.
So if you're trying to imply that neither one of them had civil rights, then you're absolutely wrong. They both had rights, and we saw the First Amendment right violated with the first woman who was yelling at them, drove away, and got shot, and then the Second Amendment was violated by a guy who had the right to carry and was not being a threat to them in a fetal position, and they shot him. So they were both citizens. They fully had rights. And look at the First Amendment. What does it say? You have the right to protest your government peacefully. They were protesting the government peacefully. So
they
everything
were protesting the government peacefully.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. So, Doc, we all saw it. If you pull your camera out and you're recording them, you have the right to peacefully protest your government and to assemble to do it. Period. That is a right guaranteed us in the United States. January 6th, that wasn't peaceful. They broke into the Capitol. Okay, that's breaking into the Capitol. That's not peaceful. But they were being peaceful.
I'm not going to go there. But...
Well, we don't need to go there because we all saw. Again, we saw with our own eyes, brother. We saw with our own eyes.
What I saw on that videotape was law enforcement trying to arrest a woman, and then a man put himself between law enforcement and that woman. Okay, and at that point, he is impeding. Okay, and at that point, he committed a felony.
No,
okay,
he didn't.
Yes, he
My
did.
question is, why did the ICE cross the road?
Did you watch the video?
Why did ICE cross the road? Why did ICE cross the road?
Because they were chasing the girl that fell across the road. She was over at the donut shop impeding.
She was impeding at the donut shop across the road with a camera.
And that's a death penalty? That's a death penalty? They should kill you for that?
No. We don't even got to go there. She was impeding across the road at Dunkin' Donuts with a camera.
Just because you have a camera, it doesn't give you any
How was
sort
she
of
impeding? Right. I would like to know the body cam because she could have very well been impeding. We don't really know everything. But from what we look at, most of us will be like, they crossed the road and pushed her. That's what happened. They engaged. She did not engage.
Casper, let me ask you a question.
She engaged at the donut shop and ran.
Casper, let me ask you a question.
ICE chased her down. The other guy put his body between her and the officer. That's what I saw in the video.
Okay, if she's running away, is she still impeding? Yes or no?
No, she's evading at that point.
Okay. My question is, was she impeding in the first place? Sorry, but no, was she impeding in the first place? Why did they cross the road?
Absolutely, she was impeding.
So then,
they wouldn't have chased her across the road to arrest her if she wasn't impeding in the first place. Because then it would have been a matter of false arrest and imprisonment, and she would have got like $1 gazillion in court.
Casper, again,
I will say this. To his point, I don't think she was impeding, but you are not supposed to be in the middle of the road. They can't arrest you. Now, I don't know about ICE or Border Patrol, but the police can arrest you for recording in the road.
Yes, they can arrest you. The police can. And that's a big problem with this, is ICE is not working in accordance with law enforcement. They're not coordinating with law enforcement to do this. They're doing it on their own. That's why I'm saying there's a difference. Law enforcement is not
there. The governor told them to stand down.
Well, let me finish. Let me finish real quick. If law enforcement was there, they would call law enforcement, coordinate with them, be there, and then she would have got a ticket for being in the middle of the road. All right, the ICE can't do that. So ICE can't stop her. ICE can't charge her. ICE can't do anything. They're not law enforcement. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, they are law enforcement.
Okay, so let me ask you: can ICE give you a ticket for staying in the road?
No, that's local. I'm talking about federal.
Hello. then you just proved my point. They're not
No, I
enforcing
didn't. I
local.
just blew your point out of the water.
Okay, are they enforcing? Can they enforce local laws? Yes or no?
No, they don't enforce local law.
The end. All right. So let's not keep going around in circles.
What do you
There are
mean the end? She was
the
at the
end.
donut shop,
Okay.
right? She's
Can
at
they
the
charge you?
donut shop,
Okay. Wait.
and
Hear me out.
and she did something,
Uh,
okay?
uh, but did she
Other
did?
than
Okay.
being recorded, other than recording, she did
According to
something.
who? According to who she did
According
something.
to those cops,
According to those law
those
those ICE guys.
they just shot an
Really?
unarmed guy. You really want to know what they said? They're probably scared.
Look. All right. Look, this is not beat up on Casper, and if you're not going to listen,
Casper, you have to be honest. Then
if you're not going to, I am being honest,
dishonest.
dude. They would not have chased her across the street if she didn't impede them in some way other than recording a video.
All right.
They just wouldn't have done it. Because it happens every day. I watch live streams every day, and these guys don't do anything until somebody puts their hand on them or spits on them. No, nothing, dude. I see it every day. I watch these live streams. I watch the live streams.
Who's recording them? Who's recording them? Like they're recording themselves. You're watching, or you're watching ICE?
No, I'm watching left wing podcasts that go out with these protesters, and they record everything that's going on, and they stand there and they watch the ICE agents, and they film everything, and I see it every day, several times a day. And these people are not being peaceful. They are putting their hands on ICE. They are throwing things. They are blocking streets with trash cans and cars. They're doing some terrible, terrible things. You know, if they stood on the side of the street and yelled and screamed, that would be great. That's a peaceful protest. But when you put your hands on somebody, what?
What do you want them to do? Bring them cupcakes and cheer them on? Come on, bro. Be sincere.
Also, that's baby out with the bathwater again.
Listen, you want to talk about sincerity? I'm being very sincere, and I'm being very straight with you. Okay, these people are not being peaceful. Okay, that is not a peaceful protest. A peaceful protest is people yelling and screaming on bullhorns and cheering and all that stuff. That's a peaceful protest. But when you block the way in a road, or you put your hands on an officer, or you get in between an officer and somebody they're trying to arrest, that is impeding, and that is a felony. Okay, I don't care how you cut it. That's the law. And when she did what she did, they chased her down and pushed her, and she fell. And then this other guy went from the middle of the street in between the agent and the girl that was on the ground. That at that point, when he got between them, that was impeding, and that was a felony.
And they should shoot him.
And
That
that's
gives
the
them right
law.
to shoot him. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, listen.
Like I said, you live in your.
You missed the part of the shooting stuff that we talked about earlier. Okay. It was tragic. Yes.
I've been listening the whole time.
It was tragic. Yes. And the reasoning behind the shooting is debatable. Okay.
Was it illegal? Was it illegal though? Was it an illegal shooting? Was it an unlawful shooting? Unnecessary shooting? Were they wrong in the shooting? Yes or no?
I don't have enough information to make that statement. I don't. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have enough information to determine from what I saw, right, to say whether it was legal or illegal. Okay,
right,
what
so
I saw.
Who should?
It should go.
Who should make
go
that?
to the court. That should go to a court of law, man.
Which court of law? Like a federal or state?
I would guess that it would be a federal offense.
What did it happen in the state of Minnesota?
Yeah, that's still federal. It's part of the United States. That's part of the United States.
But it's still.
I mean, truth be told, if you break a federal crime in the state of Minnesota, the state of Minnesota can charge you with that crime, as well as the federal government. Now, a lot of brothers probably listening in on this podcast have been caught up, like myself, in some false accusations and been charged with a crime in a state, as well as being charged in a federal court of law and getting 2 terms to be served consecutively.
Exactly. So
That's
usually,
where they got. That's where they got me.
One moment.
Go ahead.
One moment.
Go ahead.
If y'all are enjoying the content, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want better audio, come to the Debate Nation channel. It is the pinned comment, man. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But yes, I will say that as what Casper said is correct. In Arkansas, just for an example, they have billboards that say gun crime equals fed time. So they're letting you know that, yeah, you might have committed a state offense. It could be a state offense, but because it is a gun and you're in Little Rock, the feds are going to pick it up.
So yeah. So I'll let you go next. Go next. You guys want to say real quick, and then I'm gonna chime in.
Right now we're kind of going back and forth, and I get bored real easy. But baby out with bathwater seems to be the, I don't want to call it sin, but the thing that I keep on seeing with you that makes me disagree with you, because you're saying that people who riot are setting the standard to shoot the VAER community leader person. That's baby out with the bathwater. And
Okay.
Mr. Plug done put a video up showing people pushing, what was those vending machines, right? Vending machines in the doorway, and that was a riot. They should mace those people, take those people, kidnap those people right then and there, and charge them right then and there, and without shooting people. But that has nothing to do with this Alex guy. This Alex guy was doing something else.
Kidnapping, though, dude. It's not kidnapping. It's an arrest and a deportation.
Okay.
Let me
See, it's like
get
that.
in.
It's
Let me get in, Casper. Let me get in real quick.
speech.
1 second, Steve. Your mic is doing that. Whatever it's doing again.
Who, mine?
No,
Is it mine?
It's Steve's mic.
Oh,
Is it happening right now or not?
No, it's not.
it's loud. I can hear you really well.
You good now, but it's like I don't know if you plugging it up to charge it.
Man, Top just pulled up. Let
No,
me find out. It's probably him.
I was laying down bad. So this is
Nah, he
how I
muted.
understand the law to be. All right. If you commit a crime on the streets of a city, like let's say Los Angeles, if you commit a crime on the streets of Los Angeles, the first charge is going to be the city of Los Angeles. The next is going to be the state of California, and then they might even go as far as charging you federally. City crime, you're going to go to local. You can go down to Twin Towers, maybe, and that's where you'll be. And state, you can go to Pelican Bay. And federal, you're going to go to someplace bad. Now, federal crimes, usually the sentence is much longer, and there's no reducing it. Okay, there's 3 different levels.
Right.
So these guys should be charged locally in the city of Minnesota, and then by the state. And this is the problem because they're fleeing the state. All right. So in both cases, they conducted these attacks on citizens, and then they fled the state. Okay, and that's at the orders of their boss. So that's a crime, and that's a problem, and that's what I'm saying. That's why they're like the reason I don't call law enforcement is they're above the law. If they have immunity, they're not law enforcement. They're above the law. They can do whatever they want to. They have immunity from the law. They're not enforcing laws, local laws. They're committing acts, and then they're above the law. That's not what we should be having in this country. And so I think if you're gonna want to hold the left accountable, you got to hold the right accountable. And you can't look at this with a lens on and go, oh well, this is my team, wherefore it's okay. You have to say, hey, look at I know that my team's trying to do the right things, but these guys made a mistake and they need to be held accountable. And that should be
absolutely. I agree with you 100%, and I hope I haven't given the impression that I am viewing it any other way. I believe in accountability and transparency in all matters like this. But something that keeps nagging at me is that we can't let mob rule, and that seems to be what's been going on for many years now in the city and the state of Minnesota and Minneapolis. And I think that if the protesters were less unruly and less prone to violence, that we probably wouldn't have even had this incident happen in the first place.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna let Top Cat get in there. Welcome to the stage, Top Cat.
What up, Top Cat?
Hey,
What up,
what's
Top
going
Cat?
on?
Welcome
What's
on
up,
in there, brother.
Hey, can y'all hear me good? Is my mic cool?
You get
Yeah,
All
I
right.
got you, baby. Speak
When
on
I
it.
jumped
Speak on it.
When I jumped in, I just want to there was something y'all was speaking on right at that moment that they were chasing, basically chasing the girl after whatever had went on. But there's a protocol to when you're trying to apprehend somebody.
Top Cat, your mic getting crazy.
Oh, you broke up. Yeah.
Yeah, you too far away from the Wi-Fi or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Say
All
that
right, is
again,
that
because it
better?
was interesting.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah.
It's still crackling. Like,
What?
are you plugged up?
Yeah, nah, I took that shit off. I'm seeing if it's gonna work. I am a little ways, I'll be away from my Wi-Fi.
Go ahead.
All right, I was just trying to see. So the protocol when you're trying to apprehend somebody, what he did with that girl kind of went past that. If he was trying to apprehend her, he would be trying to grab her or do something to, incapacitate her. But to push her directly into the cement ground or into the asphalt, that's when I saw that protocol go to something different. So we can't completely say that what that officer was doing was actually going along with the protocol of arresting somebody or detaining someone.
Well, just to play devil's advocate, I've seen many brothers and sisters get straight thrown face first into the concrete by everything local, state, county, federal. And what I saw in the video was her getting pushed and tripping over a snowbank and landing on a tire. I don't know if that makes any difference or not, but police are not nice. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And when they want you on the ground, they will put you there, whether it's concrete or not.
Okay, Casper.
I'm not sure
Right.
if any of you other brothers have had that experience, but
I've had that
my nose
experience
broke.
plenty of times. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying for the case of the argument, we were saying
Yeah.
that something that happened and he was trying to apprehend them. So he was already to a point of detaining them. So the point
Right.
of him pushing a detainee away is not something that they're trying to do. You want to get a hold of a person and get them under control. So when he pushed her, that was kind of put that situation more in a personal civil situation rather than him doing his duties. That's what I was saying about it. Not the point that he didn't have the right or police do those different things. Yes, they can be brutal, but in the point of what he was supposed to be doing. But when you chase somebody, you don't push them from the back. You're going to push
Right.
them in
I
the face.
understand where you're coming
So
from, brother. I do.
that's it.
And
That's what
I
I was
think
saying.
that's a matter of training as well. I just think that the training is wrong when it comes to situations like that. And personally, I don't believe that when they're grabbing you, that they, even if you are resisting, I don't believe that they should, just straight Jesse Ventura your ass into the concrete.
So there's a thing
That's
called
just me.
there's a thing called excessive use of force, and a lot of times they're applying it. But the reason why this, in my opinion, this has to do with what's called command climate. Donald Trump in his first administration and this one is encouraging excessive use of force. He once said he would like cops to rough up suspects. So this is what we're seeing from ICE is they're doing the will of the president. They're using excessive use of force. And Kash Patel and Bondi have said, don't worry, use that force and we're going to give you complete immunity. It was Patel that said that. We're going to give you complete immunity for that. So these are the problems. This is what a police state is. A police state is about terrorism, terrorizing the public so that they don't argue, they don't protest, they stand out of your way.
Right. And again, to play devil's advocate, I think that if the peaceful protesters were more peaceful and stayed out of the way and allowed law enforcement to do their jobs, there would be a lot less reason to use any force at all against an American citizen in that regard. With like impeding or anything like that. I think that all of that would go away if the peaceful protesters would, do the peaceful protest thing, without the violence and all of that.
Well, when Trump is thrown from office and MAGA's out there protesting, just keep that same energy.
Oh, I will hold anybody accountable, dude. I'm not. I wouldn't call myself MAGA, but I am definitely a conservative leaning person. I would call myself more of a libertarian. in my neighborhood, we affectionately call ourselves conservatarians because we do believe in a lot more rule of law and the Constitution, more so than your really hardcore libertarians. Because there's a lot of libertarian viewpoints that I disagree with as well. But I would more call myself a libertarian than a Republican or a Democrat or Green Party or anything like that.
Yeah, I had one more little question, y'all. This is for everybody up here. I would love to know y'all opinions. Earlier, I seen something that they were writing about, and they Plug was speaking about, and it was the point that how the I forgot that lady, the secretary or whoever was speaking. She said the Democratic or blue states or whatever asylum areas letting the people out of jail. Letting them collect them from jail and take them back across the border. I feel like that's something that should have happened first. Do you
Top
guys
Cat, do
feel
you
the
got some
same?
headphones on?
Nah, I ain't got shit. I'm finna be quiet in a minute, but if y'all can hear my question, do y'all think that they should have went to the jails and deported them first?
Absolutely. And again, that's something that the local government and the local Department of Justice has to deal with. They haven't been cooperating in a way where when they do discover that someone is here in the country illegally, and they stop it. You make me laugh. When they are in the country illegally and they do commit another crime and are arrested and jailed, the local law enforcement are not cooperating in a way to turn them over to the federal authority for deportation. And I think a lot of what a lot of the further right-leaning people than me are saying is that it's just like a catch and release thing, and a lot of these guys are not nice guys, man. And unfortunately, there are nice people that get caught up, but they have to follow the law like everyone else does. That's kind of my thing. But yes, I think that there is a problem with local law enforcement not cooperating with the federal law enforcement.
And then you don't believe the state should have rights. Then you're thinking that the feds should be in charge of everything. Is that what you're saying?
No, I agree that every state has the right to be independent, and that's why each individual state has their own state constitution. Okay, and something that local law enforcement, whether it's city, state, or county, absolutely cannot do and absolutely does not have the power to do is to deport. They cannot deport anybody. That has to be done by federal. Okay, but they can, yes, take them to jail, and if they discover that in that time that they are in the country illegally, I think out of politeness to the rest of the country or politeness to federal agencies, that they would hand those people over for either further prosecution or deportation.
I mean,
100%. I believe that the Minnesota or any state, right now it is Trump season. There was a mandate, and he was bragging about 20 million people, and they thought that he was joking. And then they were like, "Oh no, it's only the criminals." Bullshit, it's only the criminals. But even though that, still the criminals go first. And if they are in jail and they are holding up the jails, anything short of an accusation of some Nazi shit going down, anything short of that, they should definitely release those people. There is a direct mandate on that with the voting. I will always give that to that.
Can I address that real quick? So I'm from California. I live in Texas now. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, so in California, there was a problem with the gangs, MS-13 in particular, which was formed down in Los Angeles. And so this is under the Reagan, the Bush administration, J.W. Bush. So they arrested these guys, and then they deported them to El Salvador. Well, the problem, they get to El Salvador, and guess what? They don't have a criminal record. So they're charged with like 30 years of crime here, but they release them back down to El Salvador, and then they have to be released. if you break the law in the United States and you go to another country and you didn't break laws there, they have to release you. So I'm not a big fan of us releasing our crime back to another country. I think that they should go to jail, they should serve their time, and then be deported. But this notion of letting criminals just go scot free, like that's the whole problem that happened in Honduras, that happened in El Salvador. So it's, I mean, we should.
Venezuela. Yeah, it happened all
No,
over.
it,
Absolutely.
it,
I
Let me
it didn't.
agree.
respond to that. Let me respond to that.
Hang on. Let me
I
finish.
agree.
Hang on. It didn't really happen in Venezuela as much because it mainly happened in those two places. That Venezuelan gang is a self-made thing, but MS-13 is made in Southern California. So is 18th Street Boys. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm opposed to is increasing, because that puts them in problem, and then that forces migration, which comes north, which affects our borders. So that migration problem is something
Not
that
if our borders are tight.
that's something that we create. Well, the truth is, the what stopped the flow, like Trump didn't do anything to fix the border. That's another MAGA propaganda misconception. What he did,
They
what
got
happened
numbers.
was what happened was, and we've already looked this up here before, but the new president of Panama closed the Darien Gap, and that pretty much shut off migration.
Yeah,
It took
yeah.
a few months to shut it down, but that killed it. Trump's only thing Trump has done is he put 1,500 National Guard on the border. National Guard don't know anything about border security. That is not in their metal essential task listing. Metal. It's not in the metal task at all. So they're not helping at all. I mean, they're on paper it looks cute, but we need more border agents on the border. And so the reason there's no border
Absolutely.
problem is because the border problem went away a long time ago. That's how it was fixed. Trump didn't fix it. He's taking credit for it. And if Trump did fix it, Trump just now said, "Hey, NATO, we need NATO partners to come help us with our border problem." Thought he fixed the border. Why does he need NATO to come help him out? So my point is, if we really want to stop migration, we need to fix it at its root cause. Where is it? Where are they coming
100%.
from?
Amen.
And
Yeah.
so if that's the case, why did Trump cancel USAID? The purpose of USAID is to solve problems where they are, so they don't come to other countries. And he turned that off. So again, there's nothing this administration is doing that's really helping us, but it's all kind of like it's just propaganda.
I think that the
There's
numbers
more
and the
to it
reality
in
might be
USAID
somewhere in the
than
middle of what you're saying. I do think that you have very valid things that you're saying, Steve, but I'm pretty sure the reality might be a little bit more right than your left that you're aiming. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I completely agree that we need to solve the issues that we create or do our part in the South America so that they can be prosperous. That's a deep, ugly thing that America is about, that they want to destroy things instead of letting people grow by themselves. They would rather do that. I agree with you there. But there was a vote. And even though most of the voters didn't sign up for 20 million people and didn't sign up for this ICE shit, and that is why you can see it in the polls that even the Republicans are turning away. But nonetheless, there is a mandate. That mandate is real. It is a democracy. We should be deporting. And yeah, maybe the violent criminals, maybe we can torture them a little bit for like 20 years.
Let me knock those numbers out real quick on the
wait a minute.
mandate.
I gotta put the
Go,
nano
Casper,
on
go.
that torture
Go,
thing. I gotta put the nano on that torture thing. Because I'm all
No,
about
I don't mean it literally, sir. Obviously,
I
I
know what you're
mean,
saying. Yeah, they do deserve to spend some time in the hole. That's for sure. But about the whole Panama thing, if Trump didn't do anything, then why did they close it? See, because they could have done that during Biden or Obama or Trump or Bush or any number of presidents before, but they didn't. And what President Trump did was he went down there and said, "Hey, look, these people are coming up here, and either you're going to close it down, or we're going to come down there and close it down, and take back the Panama Canal." That's what that was about. And the Chinese were coming in there doing the whole Panama Canal thing, and we put the nano on that right away. That's why that closed down.
Can I address
they
that?
still running, bro.
And Trump
Can I address that?
definitely did that.
Can I
Trump
address that?
definitely did that.
Can I address that?
Absolutely.
All right. So on your own time, or in my check, go look this up. And again, we already did it here on the show before. Just look up Darien Gap, and what happened was this: in July 2024, they had a new president, And the Biden-Harris team, I have to say Biden-Harris because Harris actually went down there, like you said, Trump did. Trump never went down there. Harris went down there, and her and the Biden team said, "Look, we want you to close the Darien Gap." And the new president, that's what he ran on. I'm going to close the Darien Gap. The Darien Gap closed in July 1st, 2024. That's when the Darien Gap closed, and it dropped migration by 70% by the time the elections came around. And the last 95 happened. Two things. Trump did do one thing. He made it very clear that he was going to be hard on immigration, and also, I mean, he's just cut jobs here. There's people came here because there was opportunity. There's no more opportunity in America, so why come here? So those two things together did it, but actually, Trump and his policies had nothing to do with it. So that's kind of not true. And just go look at it for yourself. And as far as torturing goes, I'm going to disagree with you guys on that a little bit. I'll tell you why.
Once again, I didn't mean it literally.
I know,
No,
but
I know you meant it figuratively.
I'm very anti-Nazi.
Let me finish.
Yeah,
Let me finish real
amen.
quick. Let me finish real quick. I was in the military. I was a contractor during the Iraq War, Operation Iraqi Freedom. You guys all know about Abu Ghraib, where they were conducting torturing. So I think torture is very bad. As Americans, we should not encourage torturing. I mean, if you look at the two Gulf Wars, the first Gulf War with Operation Desert Storm, when the Iraqis surrendered to them, they treated them with respect, with dignity, and that's why Iraq wasn't really our enemy. In the second war, we conducted torture because it was a different leader. So Trump is a torture guy, and I know that you're only joking, but often those Trump, they also want to say Trump's just joking. You can't even joke about stuff like that. There's no humor to it at all. It shouldn't be joked about. I get that you're joking, but just in the future, just be advised.
I wasn't even joking. I was referring to imprisonment. That's what I was referring to, calling that torture. But yeah, I completely hear you.
That's all I got.
Oh,
Casper.
Okay. Where are we going? I was expecting more. I didn't have anything. I was trying to listen and not preconceived thoughts. You know what I mean? I was trying to dig on what you were saying. Okay, so about the Darien Gap, that may very well be, and I'll have to investigate that. I have to plead no intellectual. I don't know anything about it.
Well, I could be devil's advocate about the Darien Gap.
I do know that all through right up and to the election, that whole year, Trump was on the phone with people saying, "Look, this is going to happen, and when it does happen, you're going to need to do X, Y, and Z. Otherwise, we're going to do A, B, and C."
Go ahead. Go ahead, Stephen.
And I think that's partially, at least some credit would have to go to him for doing things like that. In my view, the last administration was pretty ineffective, and it hurt a lot of people in my area.
How?
That was just my take.
How did it hurt people? How did it hurt people?
How did it hurt people?
Yeah. How did giving jobs to people that we don't want those jobs? How did that hurt anybody?
Well, there is no job that an American wouldn't do. First of all, as long as you paid them correctly.
They're not going to get paid correctly. Problem. They're not getting paid correctly.
And these jobs, and which jobs are you referring to? Construction jobs, or truck driving jobs, or police, or which jobs? Which jobs are the ones that we don't want to do?
Farming and construction.
My wife was a career maid in a hotel and lost her job. And lost her job because of illegal immigration.
No, sir. Lost her job because the owner decided to skimp on taxes and wanted to pay people less than minimum wage. That's why your wife lost her job. That should be what we're all mad at. Because you say that you're a libertarian. You should not be mad at the Mexican trying to make their living. You should be mad at the person who was making victims. And that person, 9 times out of 10, is a lighter pigment.
Can I say something?
I am mad about that.
Catherine, let me jump
and like I said, I'm a conservatarian, not a full-on libertarian. I am a libertarian, but I'm not a full-on libertarian. A full-on libertarian doesn't want any borders at all. Okay,
No,
and I believe in sovereign nation. I believe in sovereignty.
okay. Well, this isn't
So
about This isn't about sovereignty. People are coming to
it's
work.
absolutely about sovereignty,
Well, let me
because if
finish.
we don't
Let me
have
finish
borders
first.
and
This isn't
people
about.
keep coming over, then people like my wife lose their job.
Okay. Well,
Sir, that is not true
let me respond.
economically,
Let me
mathematically.
respond.
But yeah, I
Let
will
me.
let Steve respond.
So for example, again, I'm from California. There's a place called Salinas, California. They call it the Salad Bowl. Okay.
I know
Uh,
Salinas. That's a great place, or it used to be back when I was there.
well, it's still a great place. I was just there like a few summers ago, and
Awesome.
it's mainly migrant workers. All right, in the cattle industry, mainly migrant workers. In the
Yeah,
hotel industry, mainly migrant workers. And the reason why is because to make a profit, to keep our fruit inexpensive, they have to pay a certain wage to people, and most Americans won't take those jobs. Number one. Number two, a lot of Americans want other better jobs. Like, do you want your kids working in a field, or do you want your kids working in Silicon Valley, making $130,000 starting salary doing
That
computer
is the
tech?
American sickness. We should want our
well,
kid working under the
my
sun in a beautiful farm, if possible, if it could pay. That
Okay,
is
so
a
let
my
me.
life
kid
of a good
my
Christian.
kid
Now,
worked in my field until he was 18, and then joined the Marines.
And again, the
the
military.
problem is
But
that's not obtainable. To me,
well,
that's the
it's
What do you mean
problem.
it's not attainable? He worked in my field just the same way that any migrant worker would.
so real.
You would get
Hang
paid
on.
more.
Let me respond. Let me
No,
respond to
he
that.
didn't get paid shit. I didn't pay him not a dime.
Okay, that's again. Let's go back a little bit. Even after World War II, guys weren't coming back working in the fields and doing plowing. They were working in the factories. So Americans have been out of the fields for a long time. To be honest with you, white Americans have been out of the fields since the days of slavery. All right, that's when they got out
True
of the
that.
fields. So
Yeah,
that's
but now where are all those? Where did all of those industrial jobs go? We shipped them overseas.
well,
And
well, and that's several administrations. But again, who mainly
yeah,
runs those
several.
corporations?
Yes, I would agree
But
with that.
who runs those corporations? Those are
Why did
usually
they ship them?
conservatives because it's cheaper labor.
No,
Exactly.
no, by and large, um, these the large corporations and CEOs, and you could look at donation records for this, but by and large, the richest people in the country generally donate to the Democrats and the left wing.
Sir, stop right there. Stop
Also,
right there. They're
No,
going
no,
to donate to
no.
anyone in
also
power.
the richest
Mark
counties.
Zuckerberg,
Yeah.
Jeff
All these
Mark
guys.
Bezos,
Zuckerberg's a piece of
Yep.
shit.
Elon Musk,
Listen.
Mark
Yep.
Zuckerberg is a
Yep.
piece of shit,
Larry
and he's a
Let
fucking racist
Larry Fink
too.
and Larry
let him
whatever
finish.
Oracle.
Yeah, Larry Ellison. Larry
Come
Ellison.
on now. That
Yeah.
that is a bad argument.
So real quick,
No, it's
Casper.
not. It's true though.
Casper, let me respond.
You
Everything Steven said is so here. Look this up for yourself. Sorry, I didn't mean to stutter. Look this up for yourself. Look at the 13 billionaires behind Donald Trump during his inauguration. Okay, those
yeah
top 13 billionaires he's just talking about. Okay, so
yeah.
first look at Dana White, one of the largest fight corporations. Who is he with? He's with Donald Trump. Bezos, who's he with? Donald Trump. All these guys just gave money to Donald Trump, and they
Peter
didn't give money
Thiel,
to Peter Thiel. That's why,
Right.
UAE, Saudi
yeah,
Who were they
Arabia.
giving money? Who were they giving money to before Trump though?
it doesn't matter. They gave
Exactly
it to
my
Trump right
point.
It
now.
My
does
point is
matter.
don't ever
It
think
does.
that it's a left and
It
right thing. It is
does
not a left
matter.
and right
No,
thing. Both of
they
these
all
people
did.
don't like me.
All those guys have given.
Bill
All those,
Clinton
Amen.
and George
Amen. They
Bush
don't like
do
me either,
not like
brother.
me.
yeah,
No,
none of them are
they
friends.
don't like no. The left and the right, they hate me equally as well, bro.
But
I
but
feel you there.
Donald Trump is serving the interests of billionaires, and that's what's happening right now. It's not about like MAGA, make America great again. Has nothing to do with looking out for the poor. Donald Trump said, "Let's make
Shout out to
Israel
my
great
white girl
again."
MTG though. I'm just saying.
Donald
Hey,
Trump.
Continue.
yo,
All right, one moment,
Donald.
y'all. One moment, y'all. The chat says, "Give source who hires illegal workers for low wages." Every motherfucking body. I'm just
Well,
gonna
say,
start on that.
everybody,
Hold on. I don't need.
left, right,
Hold on.
everybody.
Hold on. I don't need a cosign right now.
Oh, sorry, brother.
Every motherfucking body. Anybody who's ever rolled by a Lowe's or Home Depot looking for some damn work. Anybody who's ever needed a quick fix, man, and called the handyman, and you really didn't give a fuck who showed up, man. Anybody that's ever had somebody come out and repair a damn stove, a oven. Anybody who's ever had somebody come out and repair a damn washing machine or a dryer, man. There's a chance that you hired an illegal, or by proxy, you had
Yep.
an illegal working in your house, man. It just
Yep.
is what it fucking is.
Yep. They're part of our society and we need them. And speaking of Home Depot, the owner of Home Depot also votes support Trump.
See, now, if we could touch on this whole, we need them to keep prices low. This is where the mart of competitive commerce comes in. People are going to buy the cheapest thing they can, whether they've got money or not. Okay. If you sell it for too much, then you're not going to sell it. And that's just a fact. That's economics 101.
Yeah, now we going on to why I like Trump. That's right, tariffs. Fight me.
Like, I'm gonna be
What?
honest with you. When I was in Texas, they were hiring lawn service companies were hiring people for $10 an hour. Who the fuck you think was taking that 10 an hour? Let's just be all the way honest. Minimum
Yep.
wage was $7.25. They was touting $10 an hour like it was just the best shit to be out there. What the fuck going on, man? $10 an hour. Who do you think was hiring those jobs, man? It was the motherfucking undocumented.
My true
They was
story.
pulling up. Hold on, let me finish. They was pulling up, man. Big ass trucks, man, long ass trailers, and they was getting off that motherfucker, and they was gonna have your yard, your neighbor yard, and the person next door yard done in about 25 fucking minutes, and then they was on to the next.
Hey, so once
And
upon a
guess
time,
who?
I got
Hold
extradited.
hold
Okay.
on. They asked, and the owner of the companies were white men. Let's just be all the way fucking honest. That's who was owning the companies. They were shit. You call the phone. I need to book an appointment to get my yard cut. It's gonna be a nice white lady assistant on there. She's gonna ask what time, what window. You gonna tell them, and it's just gonna be a truck full of Latinos pull up. Let's just be honest.
Yep. You're right.
Once upon a time, I got extradited down to Florida, and then when I got out, I had to pick up a job until I can get my probation settled up north. Right. So
Extradited.
I was working in construction. I was being a carpenter, building houses. I was there for like 8 months or whatever. I was doing a lot more than the next guy next to me who had like 2 years of experience. Whatever. I'm not trying to say I'm the best, because anyone who does anything like that knows that that's a skill. I'm no black belt, but nonetheless, I was doing that for $8 an hour. Then as soon as I was able to go up north, I told my boss, hey man, I'm going up north. He's like, oh man, I'll give you $9 an hour. I was like, I don't think you understand. I went to go wait tables, something that does not help my community. And I was making $17 an hour at a goddamn IHOP waiting tables. That is the sickness of America. We do need to do something with how we're paying. And I don't think that has anything to do with the illegals. If you pay them right, then the market will balance. We have a wedge right now, and that wedge is created by not having a balanced market because there are illegals, and then we're able to extort.
That's correct. If we got rid of everybody that's working under the table for low wage, the prices of things would go down because the wages would go up. If you look at places like Oregon, and it's coming to every state. Restaurants have been laying off and firing employees because the minimum wage has gone up so high that they can't afford to pay their employees.
They will not fire employees if revenue continues.
Minimum wage.
That was years ago, and it's been in the news.
I'm gonna say this as well.
You can look that up.
Locally, this is what I'm seeing locally. Business owners, small business owners, they're having to cut staff. That they're paying minimum. I don't know if they're paying a little bit above minimum wage. A minimum wage around here is like $11.50. Local staff are having to cut. They just can't afford to hire employees. They were saying when it was just the business owner and the husband or whatever working, they were fine. They could afford it. But now that they're trying to expand, hire employees, 3, 4, 5 employees, they finna have to fire every fucking body just because they're not getting the business. The dollar has lost 10% of its value. Motherfuckers are staying at home, man. The PPP pandemic money is gone. They're talking about shutting the government down. And now people are going to have food stamps right around tax time. Food stamps and shit's going to be gone. People are going to spend that greatest tax refund in history just to fill up their fucking cabinets, man. It's crazy out here.
All right, it's one thing. You guys believe in capitalism, right?
True capitalism, yes.
I don't do
Not
black
all,
and white.
not
Like I don't do no
oligarch.
red and blue.
So
I
Not
don't do
not
red and blue. I
oligarch.
just do
hang on.
economics.
So
Yeah,
in
yes, economics. Yes, I believe
okay,
in
so then
economics.
all right, so then traditional economics says that we want a free market, okay? We want to get the cheapest price. We want to get competition. That way you get the prices cheap and the quality high. That's what we want, right? But the problem
Right.
is Donald Trump doesn't believe in that. This is like a Keynesian kind of economics where we're using the government to try to have tariffs, to control prices, to work with corporations, and this is the problem. Like you can't on the one hand say, "Oh, I'm a real capitalist, a true capitalist," and then have tariffs. Tariffs are the opposite of capitalism.
That's not true, and I'll tell you why. The only way to reindustrialize, and let's be honest, that's what we're talking about: reindustrializing the United States and having jobs for everybody, is to get these companies back into the United States. And what we need to do, i.e., tariffs, is make it so difficult and expensive for them to operate outside of the country and ship in, that they fiscally need to bring their companies back and employ Americans, and that's
Let's cut the
true,
shit, man.
that's true economics. That's true
No,
economics right there.
it's not. No, it's not. That's
You
not.
know,
That
and
that's
and,
that's
and
that's Keynesian
also
economics.
Donald
That's
Trump
not
is
true
using.
economics.
Yes, it is, dude.
I'm
No, it's
cool with the
not.
tariffs if done properly. The problem is it's not being done properly at all.
Not remotely.
Man, privatize that
Well,
shit,
he's
man. Everything going public, man, and the shareholders, everything's about making shareholders happy now, man. When everything was fucking private, man, it was what it was, man. The
that's
damn
right.
burritos were bigger, the damn taco bed, man, fucking tacos and shit. I just seen an ad, man. 97 Mexican pizza was fucking 99 cents. That bitch about $10 now, man. It's just fucking shareholders. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not
right.
really
You're
Corporations
right.
own
You're
every
right.
the corporations own everything, and so. But again, that's
See, that's oligarch. That's an oligarch type
Listen.
thing.
If I could say something core to my belief economically, I don't do the red,
Sure.
I don't do the blue, because communism will always lead to a saturation of power or consolidation of power, and then that will always, for their reasons, which is quotas, their reasons is quotas, that they will create basically a monopoly, and then we will see our quality diminish and our prices go high, or not even our prices go high, it wouldn't even be on the shelves.
That's
Likewise, in
right.
capitalism, it will always lead to the same thing. Capitalism will do the same thing. It will turn into one. It will monopolize.
but that's
No,
what's free
Capitalism will
trade.
monopolize eventually.
That's
That is
that's
the
not
sickness of
true.
that too. Always needs a
That's not
balance.
true.
Sometimes
That's
you
not
need a
true.
Trump guy to come in and crack an egg. But Build Back Better was a better idea, in my opinion. That's all I'm saying on that one. If you do Build Back Better and then you match it with tariffs, perfect.
See,
Fight me.
capitalism is the choice. Capitalism is being able to walk into, a Food Lion or a Publix or a Harris Teeter or whatever, Walmart, and see 30 different kinds of deodorant. Okay, that's capitalism. It's a choice, and you're going to pick the one that you like, and the one that doesn't get picked often enough will go away. Okay, and somebody else will replace it if it's better or cheaper. Okay, that's
Until
capitalism,
monopoly.
man. That it's not, man.
No,
It's not really.
yeah,
Go to your deodorant aisle. Everything is owned by
The
the
only
same
way,
company.
the only way
okay. Let
that
me
you're
say
going to get
this.
a
Let me say
monopoly
this.
is
It's
if you have something that is cheaper and better than everything else, and everybody wants it, and nobody wants the other thing.
Then why
Why
are
do
we
you
scared
think
of
we don't?
BYD?
let me
Why are we scared of
respond. Let me
BYD?
respond next. Let me
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
What I'm gonna say is,
What is BYD?
hang
hold
on.
on,
Listen to
let me
plug.
respond.
Oh, sorry.
What I'm gonna say is this: capitalism doesn't necessarily breed monopolies, but monopolies are a big part of it now. That's why there are monopoly laws. When we look at those figures, like you spoke about earlier, the Larry Ellisons getting TikTok plus all of these networks and stuff, that's damn near a monopoly. When you look at things like even in the pharmaceutical industries, these companies, these blood centers, these plasma centers, there are monopoly laws there. People don't know that there's only a handful of these companies, so they have to split acquisitions just so they don't infringe upon these monopoly laws. But yes, unchecked capitalism does breed monopoly.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so just like Steve, just like Next was saying. So I'm gonna address what you were saying, Casper, about having 30
Okay.
different things, having 30 different things on the shelf. That's
Yeah.
exactly what we want. However, what Next is saying is if you look at where all those come from, you'll find that there's maybe two companies that are putting out all those 30 brands. That's what we've gotten into, is that they buy up all these little small brands and then they put underneath their umbrella. So in the end, only two or three companies are running all this. But and let me continue on one little point. BYD, dude, he nailed it with that. And look it up. BYD is a company out of China. They make an electric car. Okay, back in 2010, they were making an electric car, and Americans were laughing at it. Elon Musk was like, "Who cares about them?" Even and no one took them seriously. Now their cars are so phenomenal. Everybody around the world wants them. And so what do we do in America? We ban them. Why? Because America is a coward country now. We're scared of free trade. We're scared of real competition. If we believed in
We will
competition,
invade a country.
we'll invade a country before we have competition. If we believed in
We are not
competition,
free market.
if we were competition, we would be able to buy BYD. Hey, Kashmir, look up later on BYD. It is you can get a brand new car for like $5,000. That same car by Tesla, $40,000. Which one do you want? A $5,000 car or a $40,000 car that does the exact same thing? We're not free, man.
Well, in that regard, I think Tesla cars are probably just cooler. And when you told me what it was, I do know what you're talking about. And to that, I would have to say, do you really want to give money to China? I mean, yeah, come on, man.
Again,
I'm
brother.
not red or blue, bro. I'm not going to play the China
China,
American thing.
He just said that.
China,
He just said that.
I mean, would you be saying the same thing? I'm sorry. Would you be saying the same thing if Russia came up with the coolest toothbrush in the world and everybody wanted it and we had to have it?
I don't want to kill a single Russian.
I don't either.
And I will buy their toothbrush.
I do.
Okay, before
I will.
we get
But
too
that's
far off the
that's not my
topic,
thing. No. If I could finish this one, Pat.
Hold
All right.
on, next. Before
China
we get
is
off
not our
topic,
friend, man.
God damn, I'm finna just have to mute.
I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead. I apologize.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The thing about it is, when we talk about China, you have to realize that Elon has the Tesla factories in China. So those imports, that's what the whole thing Doug Ford, the premier of Ontario, is talking about. Like, hey, these cars are going to come in from China. Either way it goes, Tesla has the Shanghai facility. So Elon's still going to get a jump on it. So I don't think the Chinese influence coming over here is a problem. I just think that, not even think. I read yesterday that they announced that China's not even our number one enemy anymore. So the kind of Chinese influence shit is really MAGA's taking it out of the window.
Yeah. So as far as the BYD goes, I looked at it a few years ago because I thought they were going to be coming here as soon as they were done, and the Biden administration was the one who put the ban on them because that's when they were ready to start exporting. They import trucks to the United States already, and no one's going to stop that because it doesn't compete with cars. But they would absolutely crush our car market because they can make a cheaper car. And again, Casper, that's what you're saying before. Americans want what's cheap. Now, I wouldn't buy from Russia because Vladimir Putin has committed war crimes. ICC wants them on sanctions, and we shouldn't be supporting that. If we believe in sanctions for others, we should also support sanctions. So that's why I wouldn't buy it. But we don't have China is a trading partner. Matter of fact, China's our number one trading partner. And again, I don't think they're our friend either because of Taiwan. But nevertheless, they're still a trading partner. And they have high quality products that we help to fund. I mean, we're the ones who send our factories there. So we did this as a group, as a nation, both left and right, Democrats and Republicans. So
as old as y'all is, it's like y'all haven't been. Can y'all hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm saying, as old as we are on this panel, yeah, we're talking about current situations like we didn't watch them change in the early '80s, the late '90s, the mid '90s, and then into the 2000s, where we've seen these companies doing the same thing over and over again. This part of it is not new.
No, not at all.
What I'm gonna say also is when it comes to China, I just find it odd that they make the statement that China's not our number one adversary anymore, right after Xi's right hand man gets caught selling us nuclear secrets. You know, they just arrested him I believe Saturday, the 26th, yesterday. They arrested Xi's right hand man yesterday for selling the US nuclear secrets. And then
Yes,
that's
they did.
the same day that we say China's not our adversary anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that too, brother. Yeah, yeah. Um, as far as free trade, yeah, that's not really free trade. I do believe that China is our adversary, but no matter where a product comes from, um, if I can get the equivalent in America, made in America, and pay a little more, I would prefer to do that. Um,
Exactly.
50,000 versus 5,000, that's a pretty big difference. But again, I don't want to drive a little electric roller skate. And as a matter of fact, I would rather get rid of this fuel injected piece of shit and have a carburetor back on it so that I can work on it myself. But that's just me.
They're the same quality car. That's the $5,000 car that they have is the exact same quality as Tesla's $40,000 car.
Yeah, I mean, both those cars in the aspect of the American point of thing, they just let him in because of, he white tea. That's just period. Because nobody else could butt into the subject. But the people that are butting in from different countries that people aren't paying attention to is the grocery situation with the Vallartas. And then people don't know Smart and Final got bought out from somebody that isn't even from this nation. These are the things, like, you're looking at the things that are in your face and the small things that are happening behind the scenes are having a bigger effect. Like right now, you could buy chicken feet back in the day at 50 cents a pound. You can't even buy some hominy or some damn some tripe for it's $5.99 a pound. These are throwaway things that we used to
Let me
have
You cutting out, Top Cat. Let me propose a
that are
question to the
being
panel.
pressed up because of these situations.
Yeah, you cutting out again, Top Cat. I don't know if you far away or what, but you cutting out again. Let me propose a question. So, do you think that on top of it being a security risk with the EVs, after they just voted to pass the mandate that all cars can be shut down remotely, government can shut down cars remotely, or the AI can shut the car down for you if you're, impaired driving. Do you think that security vulnerability, they know how much access they're about to have once they pass that they just don't want China involved?
I don't personally think that the government should be allowed to shut my car off in a whim.
They already voted for it. They have 57 Republicans voted with the Democrats to push it through. It's finna go through.
Dang. I don't, I mean, in my mind, I can't see Trump signing that into law.
He already
But
said
in
it. Now
my,
he the reason I know that I'm gonna bet my bottom dollar he signs it into law is because he said out of his mouth that he wants all AI regulation cut. DeSantis tried to put AI regulation from Florida. Trump repealed that shit. Like, no, we're good. And then Hegseth came out with the Department of War statement saying that we're going to be an AI first nation, an AI first military. Just listening to Trump and Hegseth, shit, I don't think they're going to cut anything. They don't want, and
man,
they
I got to
said that
catch up.
they said they're willing to experiment because we're in a AI race. We're in an AI war right now. It's wartime when it comes to AI. Just like they did the moon, the space race, the weapons race. Now it's the AI race. So they're cutting all regulations, cutting all red tape. They're saying the reward will outweigh the risk.
Can I say something on this real quick?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
So this is the deal. The military does everything first. Okay, military had AI back in the 90s or so, and then all of a sudden, so the military has it first. And if you want to see a better example of this, Tyler Tyson, Neil deGrasse Tyson wrote a book about this, about how all technology goes from being military to civilian. So what ends up happening here is something that's never happened before. It was done by the military first. Military passed it off to civilians, and now Donald Trump is basically bringing in civilians that are his friends, these billionaires, making them colonels and that stuff, and letting civilians have access to military AI. And so what Pete Hegseth is doing isn't helping the military out; is helping to empower these guys. These guys can now have their own private armies. They'll have all this information, and who knows what they're going to do with it because they shouldn't be having access to it. So I don't think what is happening is very good for them trying to blend AI, civilian AI, with the military tech. I think it's bad, and
Correct.
I think that what Donald Trump is like, Donald Trump has sells us out. You know, sorry to tell you, Casper, Donald Trump is more about listening to his billionaire friends and making money. And if you have any doubts, to look up Palantir. Okay, why is Trump allowing Palantir to be in the government? And then if you want to go deeper, look up Pegasus. Pegasus is horrifying, and they're going to
So
be bringing that here.
So I'm gonna kick it to Nick. He's been waiting. Nick, you had some background noise. You and Top Cat. That's why I muted y'all. I'm gonna try to keep everybody muted while one person's talking. Um, but what I will say to that is when you read what Heggs has said about just the Department of War and everything that's going on, they're actually they're touting it as the civilians will actually get the tech first. They're saying within 30 days of Grok or Chat GPT updates, it will be integrated into the Pentagon. So
Horrifying.
that's just how they're touting it. Go ahead though, Nick. You have the floor.
All right, so we're talking about AI. One thing that I have to say about AI, they think that they're like wasting money and whatnot, but I personally believe we're just building highways. We're just building the highways. It seems like a waste, but I'm pretty sure back in Eisenhower's time and before, when cars were like 1 out of every 10 people maybe owned a car, and it would sound crazy to build a federal highway, I believe we might be doing that with these data centers. And first, just like let's use Tesla as an example. They started with the Roadster. The Roadster was like 200 grand. And then with that profit margin, they continued to upgrade their capacity. And I believe that's what we're doing right now. We're using our AI technology to utilize it for money, for marketing. And then with that money for marketing, we're going to expand it. But the caveat is, it seems the end goal, the very end goal, is surveillance. That's
Yes,
the end
that's
goal.
where you see. That's where you see Amazon working with Flock and working with the Ring doorbell cameras to already track undocumented immigrants. They're building out the systems
I just
right
undocumented. Wait till they get to the homegrowns, baby. Wait till they get to the homegrowns. You know?
Yep.
now. We'll hear from Top Cat right quick, and then we'll kick it over to Casper. Top Cat, you around? All right, go ahead, Casper. You got the floor.
His mic might be muted.
Yeah, it is muted, but go ahead, Casper. You got the floor.
Sorry. Oh, there we go. I fat fingered the button. I'm sorry. I'm very concerned. You know, when we started the AI discussion, I'm very concerned with the fact that anybody would want the power to arbitrarily, for whatever reason, just be able to shut off people's vehicles. That's just wrong. In my opinion, and I hate to take it there, but I believe that AI is evil, and it will be our downfall as a global society, not just as a society in the United States. I don't know enough about AI really to say more than that. And I'll have to investigate the whole Donald Trump thing, and him doing that, and if you could, elaborate
I'll
Um,
give you my thesis and my opinion. Other people have similar thesis, but I've kind of refined mine. Um, as of last year, we had 12 patients that have the Neuralink. So those are 12 essentially transhumans. Those are 12 people that's linked, hooked up to the network. Now, like
damn.
Nick was speaking about before, right now the roadways are being built, so it's kind of expensive now, but over time they said they want to make Neuralink sub $7,000. So over the next year and a half, you will see them target the gaming community. They're going to target the gamers to give them an advantages. They're already with the paraplegics and the medical people. Next, they're going to target gamers to get an advantage. China's already came out and said by 2032 they'll have 50 to 100 million people hooked up. So we are the last generation that will have a society that is not split or divided between the linked and the unlinked.
You talking
Um,
about being hooked in like
so
Matrix type?
yeah, so you will not be able to compete. That's why UBI, basic income or universal high income, whatever you want to call it, will become more and more viable because you will not be able to compete in the workforce. These people will be able to have downloadable skills. Something that would take the average person 10,000 hours to learn, they will have that skill downloaded in an instant, or that knowledge downloaded in an instant. We're talking about
Wow.
200. We're talking about 200 IQ instantaneously.
But
Wow.
what they don't talk about is how many people are going to die getting those put into your brain between now and then. And so this generation is going to be the human
Word.
lab rats. So yeah, so it is bad. Again, Donald Trump in his first, like Donald Trump when he first came on was like, I'm against TTP, I'm against all this globalization. In his second term, Donald Trump is the king of globalization because all this Neuralink stuff, like he's saying, China's doing it right now, we're going to be doing it. You don't think that in the future those governments are all going to work together to get rid of all their troubles makers, our troublemakers? And it, again, like Nex is saying, it's the immigrants today, tomorrow's the homegrowns. So we already see this coming, guys, and and you're assuming that this administration stays in charge. If another administration comes in the opposite way, you think they're not going to use the same thing that Trump is setting up? It's going to be used against them. So we should all stand against tyranny. A lot of people say the Second
Yeah.
Amendment is about against a tyrannical government. Yet this guy literally had a Second Amendment right to have a gun against a tyrannical government, and everybody isn't saying the same thing. The government's wrong, and that's the problem. Like we're losing right now. They're dividing us, and we're losing.
Can I say something? Um, and I kind of hesitate to take it there, but it almost sounds biblical to me. Um, and you're telling me that, and I'm agreeing with you that with the advent of AI and people being plugged in and downloading things and stuff like that, it kind of seems akin to you won't be able to buy or sell, and you won't be able to work, and you won't be able to transfer funds or money, and everybody will know your business and try and get into your business. That's what I was trying to get at when I was talking about the being able to just arbitrarily shut my car off if I donate to the wrong candidate, or I don't make a post on Facebook or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it sounds very evil to me.
So I'm gonna give you an analogy. Um, when Elon Musk first came out, he was saying the only problem with scaling Neuralink was the bandwidth problem. Now we seem to be solving that. We got data centers, we got all this electricity. They're talking about putting the satellites in space, directly pulling the energy. But when we go back to, I seen somebody say Ready Player 2. Yeah, I have. I don't think I read the book. I think I seen the movie. But
I saw the movie.
when we
Yeah,
go
I
when
did
we
too.
get when we get to these movies, even when you look at Ender's Game, the Ender series with Bean, what do they always
Yeah.
tend to? The perfect society. When we look at nature, they say what's perfect harmony? The bees, the ants, the hive mind mentality. That's where we're going with this Neuralink shit. Everybody will be on the same type of timing. Everybody, there'll be downloadable thoughts. They'll be inserting thoughts. It'll be a true hive mind. We'll be able to communicate without speaking. Those are
Can
the
I ask?
things that are on the
Can I
horizon.
ask a
That's
sensitive
bad.
question? Can I ask a sensitive question? And I don't mean to. I'm not trying to go like any down
Long as we
any
don't,
certain road, but
long as
would
we not, hold on, long as we not gonna have to take the live down because we like 2 hours.
no, not like that.
All
No,
right.
no, 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 not like that. I'm starting outside of the biblical vibe that I've got right now. I'm starting to get kind of global slavery vibe that transcends, race or ethnicity. It's just all of us. Part of my belief is that the only real social construct in the world right now is race. It's a society, and people put that on us. But it seems like if we're going to have to plug in and work and be the whole matrix thing, wouldn't that be similar to racism or not racism, slavery in a way?
Yes,
I
yes,
guess.
yes.
Do you,
That's exactly what it is, man. That's you're just spot on, man. Motherfuckers will be in part of the system, so you have to understand that it's gonna come a point in time to where that to preserve the human race, there'll have to be people who don't take the Neuralink. They'll have to like the little society out there on the island nobody goes and fuck with.
oh,
Those things
yeah,
will have to happen to preserve the human race, quote unquote. This
I
is what
see.
it is. This is the combatant to AI. America as a country has gone all in on AI, so there's pretty much no turning back. Our economy totally fails. So we know that these people aren't going to turn back. So in turn, they're trying to find a way to keep humans viable into society. That's where the transhumanism comes in. But over time, there's going to come a fundamental shift in society to where there are hundreds of millions, if not billions, of these linked individuals. And that's where society splits. The thinking is different. The skills are different. The classism will be at a totally different level.
Right. So
Okay.
you're saying like Breeder Island, like turn Australia into a place where they just like breed humans like cattle.
Hey, let me
Wow.
tap in when
Wow.
I can,
That's
y'all.
deep. That's deep, man. Thank you for hipping me to that, dude. That's deep, brother. Wow. I'm gonna have to think on that.
Go, Top Cat.
Absolutely.
Then I got something to say. Top Cat, go.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what I was going to speak on was kind of all around that because it's definitely biblical, and that's why I don't speak on a lot of different terms because I don't do the gang bang stuff with all this Democratic Republican stuff. I'll get in the conversation for the content, but it's not my thing. But once we start talking about how it's completely moving, then I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? So exactly what's going on with China, most people look at it as a different thing. I look at them as all the same. They're just different factions from a warring culture that comes from itself. So once we start talking about this thing, it's actually an anime cartoon. If any of y'all get a chance to check it out, it's called what's the name? Standalone Complex. And
I'm sorry, one more time. I didn't
Standalone
hear you.
Complex. Standalone Complex. It's an older anime cartoon, and it talks about the biotechnology and where we're going to be in a little while with what Plug was talking about, where we can download all these things. You have a little plug in the back of your neck where you can plug in and you can
Mhm.
download things and you can change yourself. You're not male or female. You can, whatever situation, you could be plugged into a different physical being, whether it was a mouse or a computer or another human body. So now you're just an entity. So it goes back to what you really are and what you're really made from. So once we start downloading all this information this fast, it's going to come down to biologically, what is your nature as a being? You know,
Wow.
that's what it's going to really come down to. So it's really going to still come down to good or evil. Do you have an evil nature or do you have a good nature? We all have the information. We're almost like angels. What are you picking? Are you truly selfish? Are you truly gluttonous? Are you truly ravenous? Are you truly good? It's going to come down to the nature of what you really were made as and what you are, because having the information, everybody will be equal on that point.
Hey, next, do you
Okay.
have a do you have a comment? Because I want to respond to Casper, but I want to hear next first.
You guys are talking about Revelations right now. Um, you're talking about
Thank you
like
for
you
TK.
can't give any money, you can't trade and whatnot. Like we've been have like just in the recent 100 years, we had social security cards, credit cards, TIN numbers, registration for cars. You know, and if you don't pay that money, then you're supposed to not drive. And if they shut it down, then they shut it down. You know, and then before that, we always had some type of system of control that was always. And I bring it back to Jesus. Then, if we're going to talk about that, it's give the Caesars what the Caesars. I am arguing the devil's advocate right now, okay? Because I know that it's not popular, but it is also a possibility, though. Give the Caesars what the Caesars, and live a happy life would be one way to address this issue, because it's going to happen either way. We're running it. We're running it, and there ain't no way we're going to stop it, But then when we talk about my hive mind, and whatnot, quantum physics, right? Quantum physics, quantum computing.
Real
You
deep.
you can hack anything, and any possibility is already thought of. Type of quantum computing that could be a hive mind if we're all on the same quantum computing and thinking of the same theories. But if it is true quantum computing and we can't be hacked, then that blows away that thesis of a hive mind. Because if none of us can be locked, because all of us have the key, then would we not just live a freer human life? And then when we take these data centers and we take the robotics, and then we have a bunch of androids and we do fly to Mars, because once again, just like how this is running it and we're running it and we're doing it, we're also sending ships out. We're doing it. We do need to be, I hate to be on his dick, but I am a fan. Elon Musk is right when he says we do need to look at the stars, because one day or another, this earth will end. Whether if it be 10,000 years, a million years, do we want to preserve humanity? Is humanity already in the stars? Are we just a sperm of humanity? I'm not sure, but I think that's where those people really are getting at. Some people are more evil than others. Even Elon Musk might have a lot of dirt under him, because I think it is going to take a lot of human experiments to do the neural net, amongst other things. And I'm really scared about that. And then when you mix it with immigration, I start sounding like a conspiracy theorist. But I guess
I'm
it's
gonna
just give the
address a
Caesars what
couple
it's
of your
Caesars
points.
is my comment. Give the
I'm
Caesars what it's
address
Caesars.
I'm address a couple of your points. On Top Cat, before I do, they asked, can you repeat the name of that show?
It's called Standalone Complex. It used to be on Adult Swim.
Standalone Complex is the name of the show. So when you speak about the hive mind and not being able to be hacked, there will be a hive mind, but there will be a certain type of governance or governors. So we won't have access to the hive mind. There will be a sort of hierarchy, and the way that I'm envisioning it is, it will be a pay to play system, kind of like how they're already putting it to where these new Toyotas, you can't even use the full horsepower of your car unless you pay the extra monthly fee. Tesla saying you can't get auto drive unless you pay a monthly fee instead of just a one-time installment. Now it'll be levels to this shit. If you can't pay, maybe it's 7,000 to get the implant, but if you can't afford an extra $2,000 a month, you won't be on the highest tier. And then of course the government will have an even higher tier than it's available to the public. So the hive mind will still be there. It'll just be layers to it, levels to it. So if somebody on the above level, at the highest level, say they want to put out a message or something, they can get it to the hive mind. It's just the bottom tier won't be able to send out that message. It'll be a hierarchy. They also did a study, I was looking at it, to where they're doing sleep studies now, to where they're able to make two people be in the same dream. They haven't got that far yet, but they were able to transfer one word from one person's dream to the other person's dream. Right now it's only one way, but they're playing with that shit as well.
Can you answer your question?
I told y'all,
So,
biotechnology is the next thing. Everybody thinks that it's just straight up AI. No, it's biotechnology. That CRISPR is knocking out them genes and putting them back. It's going to be, once they find the gene that's able to accommodate these computers, they're going to start programming it into people. They're already doing this. Every food that you eat, it already has genes knocked out and other ones put in. So we got to understand that biotechnology, nothing is made better than what God made. Your body still is way more sensitive than anything else. So if the computer can control your body, it's better than any other thing that it could ever invent.
Hang on. So I want to respond. I want to respond real quick. Okay. So I was trying to respond to Casper, but I'm gonna kick off real quick at next. Something that you said. I do believe that the text in the scriptures was when Christ was shown like a dinar, and he said, "Render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's, and unto God's what is God's." And I understand that text to be very simple. That's pay your taxes and pay your tithe and offering. That's kind of what I think he was talking about. But moving on.
That was law of the land. That was law of the land. Render what to Caesar's is to Caesar's has to do with your physical body.
Again, at the time, I think you'd be looking up in the scriptures. I think he was looking at a dinar, the current currency of the land. But let me move on. I don't want to get caught up on that. I wanted to talk to Casper about something. Revelation. So in Revelation, in the beginning, it says, "Ye who have ears, let him hear. Ye who have eyes, let him see." So if you take a look at the scriptures, look at Genesis, Revelation 13. Revelation 13, and just look at it with brand new eyes, open mind, and a lot of what's going on. I mean, we know it's thousands of years ago, but it can be related directly to Trump. The deadly wound that was healed, his ear being shot, and all of a sudden there's not a single scar on it. He played this off as this big miracle that happened, and it made people mesmerized. Joe Rogan says it's one of the main reasons he voted for him. Okay, so that's a part of it. But everything in Revelation 13 relates to Donald Trump in a lot of ways. Lawlessness is being above the law. I can attack, like Trump said, the only thing that determines what I do as president is
the Antichrist.
Hang on, let me finish with it. Only thing that I do, that I determine to what I should do, is my own morality. That's being above the law. That's lawlessness. Also, he's supposed to be a peacemaker. Donald Trump wanted the Nobel Peace Prize, but yet he started a war with Iran, a war with Venezuela, and he wants to start a war with NATO over Greenland. So this is all the things are there if you want to see it. If you want to see it, you can see it. This is what I'm saying. In our time, there is no more Antichrist more than Donald Trump. And he has all the characteristics. And the Antichrist isn't like a being. It has to be an actual person, a living human being who chooses to do these things of his own free will. So I'm saying that just take a look at that on your own time, and I think you see what I'm talking about.
I would crack my Bible open, but I left it in the house.
Just do it later. It's not for now. Not for now.
I'll read it after we're done. I'll go in and read that passage.
Steve,
yes.
I wasn't when I was interjecting. I'm interjecting because I feel like some people that don't know as much might not know exactly what you're talking about. I'm not trying to cut you.
It's all good. No, it's good, man. Go ahead.
So the Antichrist situation that you're talking about, you're pretty much head on to it. And there is a point that there's a movement to the creation, and there's an evil that is complete, that makes that being complete. That is more than one demon. That is more than one movement. That is a completely evil situation that is moving to make that entity that's going to be that person, whether it's him or whether it's came or haven't came. Everybody has their different opinions on it. But that is very close to what we're talking about when he says that somebody will be doing miracles and making miracles. As he talks as everything he does is a miracle. It's the most that ever happened. It's the biggest that it's ever been. Everything that he does to be the most. So that it does appear like that. But
I just want you to hear my laughter on that one. True though.
It is true. I've watched those different points, but I've seen them with everyone though. I've seen them with Reagan. I've seen Bush on senior do some of the same things, and you're of an age where we're probably
the best Antichrist.
Yeah, so I feel like there's an Antichrist moving through certain entities, and at certain times you can even become part of that if you don't look for enlightenment and understanding through it all. And that means separating yourself from all this gangbang shit, because that's what gets you there. When I start talking about liberal or this and that, that's the first thing that it says in the book too. I'm not supposed to fraternize. So as soon as I say I'm a Democrat or a Republican, the first thing I'm doing is disobeying the Most High's orders, which says that I'm not supposed to fraternize. And that's all I had to say.
one last thing I want to add on that. Look up Gog and Magog. All right, Gog and Magog is the element that's supposed to be fighting against the people of God. And if you look up Gomer in Germany, Gomer is where the Azanaz came from. Okay, that's Gog. Magog is northern Russia. So, just my interpretation: Vladimir Putin and Netanyahu are the two leaders of Gog and Magog. And who are they siding? Who is the one ally that links the two of them together right now?
Hey, brother,
Donald,
I put this
the
down.
Antichrist.
I put this down in here 6 to 8 months ago. I put the Gog and Magog down. I let them know about the Rhineland and all that. I don't speak on that too much no more because a lot of people are very uneducated in those situations, and they say stuff and make statements that don't make sense and argue points and get people going in the wrong direction. But I know exactly what you're talking about. The sun, Ashkenaz, and all those different situations. Yes, and I know about Magog and Gog, and I know about where they fought on that Rhineland that everybody keeps looking at when they're talking about Dunkirk and all those different places. They don't know the original stance of these people. But we also have to put in the point of what I'm saying. When we go into all that everybody wants to take China and Siberia out of it. Those people were all part of one thing. When we see wars going on with these people, we are really watching civil wars that's been going on since man has written something down on paper or motherfucking since we scribed anything on rocks, so, and it's probably been going on before then. So once we start looking at how we're living over here, we're still living under those situations. When we say Europe and we're worried about Europe tripping, do we understand that their daughters and sons have been marrying each other for over 3,000 years? These people know who each other are. When they sit up there and they go into their nationalism, they know that they came under a monarchy before they changed over. They know exactly who they are. And that's why people are crazy over this Israel situation, because we know exactly who you guys are, and we can trace your lineage back how you said. But if it's like the book says, we shouldn't be able to trace nothing. We shouldn't know who you are. And there's only one people on this planet that everyone can go back and say, we really don't know where they exactly come from.
Okay. Now, if I may, I was kind of trying to allude to the whole AI thing. I have to disagree that Donald Trump is Satan. There are going to be many people that come and make the way for Satan. And if they're going to hook us all up into a chip and make us into the Matrix, what is to stop Satan from just turning people off if they don't bow down, if they don't move away from the Lord?
Can I respond to that?
Yes, please do.
So let's be clear. And again, I don't want to get too far off track because there's a big Satan is a whole different entity. Satan is a being of light. All right, that's not the Antichrist. The Antichrist absolutely cannot be an angel or form an angel. It has to be a human being, a man in the flesh, man. That's why Satan, Trump may do things that are satanic. Like he did say recently, I know I'm not going to heaven. All right, I'm going to hell and all these other things. And his base, of course, he's only joking. He's always joking about everything, but he's not Satan. All right, he is a selfish individual, narcissistic, who's doing things for his own self-interest. That's the Antichrist. Very different. And I'm saying, just look at the text yourself. Look at the text and just look at it with a completely new lens. If you have eyes, see. If you have an ear, listen to your own internal. But do it for yourself. Just take a look at it and see what I'm saying. All right. So that's not Satan. Satan is a very different entity. And by the way,
Satan, but Satan is the deceiver. That is one of his powers. That is one of the things that he's gifted with. So when we come to the point of thinking about the Antichrist, he will be a different entity, but he will be of the darkness, which he controls. So that's why
all the same team.
When we look in the Revelations and they say, I hold the the keys to hell. That's what the Hamashiach say, or other people call Jesus Christ. So when he says he has the keys of hell, both of them are called the morning star. Both of them are called different situations. And we look at these entities, so-called Hamashiach has came already. So this is the second coming. He will come with blood on his what are those things? The superhero on his cape, basically on his robe. He's coming back for a war with this same entity that you're talking about. And this entity is going to be raised amongst the people the same as the Hamashiach, the famous so-called Jesus. So he's going to come doing major things. So if you look at what Trump might do to destroy things and the person that brings them out of it, and you think that he's so beautiful and he's so great, and he's done such great things, that's how the Antichrist is supposed to come. He's supposed to come to bring this so-called peace that
Bingo. Bingo.
Amen. Amen.
So,
well said,
yes.
brother. Well said.
Also, real quick, guys, just so that we know, the morning star is Lucifer. That is different than Satanus. Satan was in the book of Job. He was the accuser, where the devil is the deceiver. The accuser and the deceiver are different entities. And the reason why it's a problem a lot of times, this is off the subject, but if you look up King James wrote the book of demonology. And King James didn't give two craps about the King James version of the Bible. He didn't care about that at all. He says, I wanted to do one thing, make sure that it honors kings. All right. And it gives the rights of kings are in the King James Bible. And the other thing he did,
it doesn't matter. All I'm saying is once the Most High has you, it doesn't matter who you are as an entity. Once he wants his word expressed, it's going to be expressed how he wants it to be.
Okay, you gotta let him finish his thought though.
Let me finish this thought. So what King James did was he wrote the book of demonology, and you can look this up, guys. He basically said to the writers that were writing the King James verse, make sure that you make the devil, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Belial, Asmodeus, the abyss, make them all one entity. And the reason why is otherwise it will confuse the common man. So we're enlightened, okay? We have to be able to separate these. Yeah, Top Cat, you're right. They're all on the same side. They're a conglomerate. They work together. They're a giant corporation that's seeking to do evil, to rule over us. So yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you at all, but just be crystal clear, guys. These are all separate entities with the same common goal.
Right. So
Top Cat has the floor to rebuttal. Top Cat, your mic is kind of doing that shit again. Hold on, we're gonna let Top Cat rebuttal because he was trying to get in there. If you're enjoying this conversation, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you want better audio, we are live on Debate Nation with 2 N's. That is where we're restreaming it on Plug Station from Debate Nation. If it's looking like the video's lagging or the audio's a little off, come to Debate Nation for better audio. But if you are enjoying this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a like on the video. Go ahead, Top Cat. You have the floor.
All right, I'm good, man. Shit, hopefully it sounds a little better. But what I was going to say is that when it comes to Elohim, what he's speaking about is one coming together as we see it, but all different entities. So everything that's out there sits on his throne. So with the Most High, it sits on the throne. So that's why you have to ask him to let these things relent, to be off of your body, to be off of you, because they are what they are. Selfishness is selfishness. Gluttony is gluttony. Hate is hate. They all have their thrones up there. They all have their positions in the world for certain things, but we don't move like an inanimate object. So a tree deals with hate a different way. An ant deals with hate a different way compared to us for having free will and being able to do the things that we do on this earth. So that's why we have to ask, the Most High, because he's empowered to control these things and let him relent. If selfishness in his kingdom is on you, that's all he knows. He's not wrong. He can't sin in selfishness. The king of selfishness can't sin by being selfish. The king of gluttony can't sin by being gluttonous. So that's what Steve, what he's talking about. These things are all wrapped up, and those same things took control of Satan, because in his position, once he felt those things, he didn't deny them. He went towards them. So that's how we have to live as people every day. We have to move away from these violent things. We have to move away from these gluttonies and these sins and different things for us to be able to become stronger people. And everybody knows that. You want all these people to sit up there and be your encouragement and everything because you're willing to listen to them. But if you'll listen to what that book says and do what it says, you will never be more prosperous. And when I say prosperous, I'm not talking about prosperity preaching or none of that. I'm talking about prosperous in your spirituality and your humanism, and understanding that these things aren't in control of you. You are in control of yourself. And the Most High gives you that gift.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you look at the story of Job, the adversary was actually in love with God. The adversary was saying, like, I think you're awesome. I think he sucks. Don't trust humans. So yeah, everything the top cat saying is right. Like the gluttony, all these they don't do evil in their own realm, but they're supposed to be doing what they're doing. The adversary is basically a cop. ICE is the adversary, and they're out there killing people, but they think they're doing it for the right reasons, But and it's because that's what their nature is. So the adversary, even though we hate the adversary doesn't hate us, doesn't hate God. The adversary hates us. He thinks that we're not worthy to be in the presence of God. And that's what we're dealing with. And a lot of times I think what Trump may really think he's doing the right things, but he's working against humanity. He's working against the children of God. I think the Palestinian Christians are the children of God. And I think that they're being killed by those that are not the children of God. Like no one even talks about the Palestinian Christians. That's who really got killed. And so that whole thing bothers me. But just I don't know why I got on that tangent. I'm sorry. That's my thing about the adversary.
God? Why do you think they would be the children of God?
The reason I think the Palestinian Christians are the children of Christ is because they're indigenous to his homeland. They've been there being persecuted for thousands and thousands of years. And even the current Ashkenazi administration hates them even more than they hate Hamas. They just can't say that part out loud. But they blew up every single church. Like the church in Gaza was the oldest operating Christian church in the world. And it was destroyed by IDF fire, which is the part of Biden and Donald Trump, both equally funded the murder of Christian Palestinians who, if Christ was born today, where would he be born? In Bethlehem. Where is Bethlehem? In Palestine. So what would he be? He'd be a Palestinian Christian. Well, actually, technically, he'd be a Jew.
Yeah, but without them making the canal through Yemen, wouldn't he be an African?
Oh, and I'm just saying that right now, if he's born in Bethlehem, that's where he was born before. He'd be a Jew born in Bethlehem who identify as Palestinian. And the reason why I say that is
they came there too. So they came there when the first people that came that looked like them, they were talking about the Hyksos. Before that, which would have been his people, the people that has always inhabited that area all the way down into Africa, wouldn't have been the same exact people. These people came just as well, and they have been dealing with the situation since before and after, and in integrating themselves into the Muslim conquest in those certain areas. So they aren't still the original, but they're trying to bring somebody with the last of the original lineage back when they're talking about bringing that prince back. So you're knowledgeable about the book, so if they bring the prince back, they're supposed to the ones that aren't the real ones, they're supposed to angry the Medes, which are the Iranians, the kings of the Medes, and this is supposed to be the start of what you're talking about in Revelation.
I'm pretty sure if you look at Revelation, it's Gog and Magog, and that are the antagonizers. Yeah, and
Gog and Magog, that's right.
Yeah, Gog and Magog is very clear. Look at Magog. Magog is northern Russia, and Gog deals with Gomer. Gomer is the region of Germany where the Ashkenaz came from, and they migrated to Israel, where they currently attack the Christian Palestinians. And all I know for sure is that Christ Christ was born in Bethlehem, and he migrated out of fear, as a refugee to Egypt, where he grew up. Then he returned to Nazareth, where he lived the rest of his life. So that's all Palestine right now. That's all Palestine.
Now, that's what I'm saying, but it wasn't Palestine then. Do you
And
get what I mean?
it
So
was
things have
it was Nazareth. It was under Israel. It was Nazareth, and before that, it was the Canaanite. It belonged to the Canaanites.
exactly. Now we're
Yeah.
getting back, and if y'all get a chance to, brothers, look at this this documentary called it's called The Black Mummy. All right, and y'all will
I
find out
didn't
more
hear that.
about the movie called The Black Mummy. It's a documentary, and it's very well documented. If y'all would look that up, and please, if you're really interested in understanding what went on back there, this this documentary is only about scientific technologies and stuff used to do this stuff. So it has nothing to do with a religious basis. It has nothing to do with that, but it puts you right on it once you learn that Egypt wasn't what you thought, and that whole area wasn't what you thought it would be. And when we talk about the Senegalese people, or the people that's sitting over there in the Sentinelese or something, those so-called Indians that have the oldest Indian blood, but they have the darkest skin and the nappiest hair, but they're supposed to be the ones that carry the Indian gene, you'll find out exactly what's going on. There's been mixing going on since way back in the day, but the difference is you start understanding who came from Japheth's children, who came from, these different, how Ishmael got there. And then you learn more about Gomer, and you learn more about Gog and Magog, and why they celebrate them in Europe, why they have a parade about Gog and Magog in Europe all the time, because they talk about him pushing them off that I guess that cliff, and how some, I don't know which was it Alexander the Great? Oh no, not Alexander the Great. What's the one that pulled the sword out the damn stone? Do y'all remember who that was?
That's a British.
King Arthur.
Yeah,
That's British. That's
Yeah,
British.
so Gog
British
and
folklore.
Magog.
British
Yeah,
folklore.
it's called folklore. So is Zeus, but their pillars are built. All these things that are supposed to be folklore, why do they have such huge monuments to these folklore situations if they didn't live as we live by them right now? So there is a point where they're celebrating these things, and they have been incorporated into Christianity by Constantine to this day. But when we go back to the straight book, when we go back to the straight Torah, we find out how to live, and we can't see nothing wrong with that. So I'm gonna tell anybody in this whole wide world, and I'll put my life on it. If you find something wrong with the 10 Commandments, then you're wicked, and I'm sorry. It's wicked.
Amen.
Period.
I have a quick question. You touched on Africa. I would like to know, anybody that was to chime in, their opinion on the Ethiopian people. I've recently been looking into the Ethiopian Bible, and it just has everything in it, and if you could hit me up to that, because I'm not real familiar with the Ethiopians and how
It's the real
they
Bible. It's the real Bible. The oldest churches that they have going to Ethiopia, the oldest Christian churches in the world. That's why I was weird when I heard the oldest Christian church that they have there. They don't call it active because they don't let too many people into it. But the oldest Christian and Coptic church that there is come from Africa and Ethiopia and those areas. And it's way up on a high mountain where it takes them there a day to get there. So
right.
Those are the situations going on with that. So Christianity has changed and been whitewashed since the beginning, and that's what I'm saying when we try to call these places and speak against the Hyksos. When they speak about the Hyksos, the Israelites actually tell you what they went through with these different people. They battled with them. They had to integrate with them.
Top Cat, you gotta fix your mic, man. It's getting bad again.
Hey,
Cats. Go ahead.
Ethiopians,
Go ahead, next.
just for education purposes, the Ethiopians, the reason why theirs is different is because they believe in what they call the agnostic perspective, which goes against the Genesis of the Hebrew Bible, kind of, sort of. And it's basically like, picture the snake that does the snake is the good guy, and the god is he. You know how Satan runs the world? Well, he ran the
Yeah.
world then too. He created his own little world. Like Netflix and Pantheon, kind of sort of. If anyone ever wants to see a good show about religion, Netflix and
What's it called?
Pantheon.
What
Pantheon.
Pantheon? Okay.
Yeah, on Netflix. No, not Netflix. It's, what's it called? What's it? Jeff Bezos? What's that guy? Amazon.
That's
Amazon, Pantheon.
Prime.
It does
Prime.
not explain agnostics. It does not explain the Ethiopians, but it really gives you a perspective of AI, and the agnostics kind of go with the AI thing where it's like the universe was already all one, you know, like on some Nirvana shit and whatever. And then an accidental thought became, if you want to call it Satan, then you can call it Satan. And then he built his own world, and then he created the humans for his own pleasure. And then the snake was actually more like kind of Jesus. And then Jesus tried to do it again as well. And the Ethiopians believe in Jesus, but it was that whole thing. So then when you were talking about the Constantine or whatever, the original Catholics decided that they was just not about to have that shit because it just went against the thing that they believed in. That is the Ethiopian Bible. That's the difference. That's the main difference. And then they start talking about Anunnaki and shit.
Let me get my two sisters real quick. Go ahead. Plug.
Okay, yo, you gonna have to leave and come back, Talk Cat. That shit kind of bad. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, Talk Cat, just mute your mic or something. Hey, so real quick, Casper. So, Ethiopian. If you look up the Council of Nicaea.
Yeah, I know about that.
Okay, so if you read into that, the Ethiopians came to the Council of Nicaea, and they had 83 books, where the Catholics had 66 books. So, and again, they were the ones who were way more confident, way more assured, because like Nex was saying, theirs has been going on a lot longer. So the book of one of the main things in the book of the Ethiopian Bible is
I'm going to guess Enoch. I'm just going to guess because that's the most popular.
That's what I was going to say. It's the Book of Enoch, and the Book of Enoch is very fascinating. You find traces of the Book of Enoch in Genesis 6. So Genesis 6 says, and in those days, something like there were, and in those days there were giants in the land. Okay, that's all it really says about it. But and they took wives. But in the Book of Enoch, they go into detail.
They go in deep.
Yeah. I mean, in detail, and they explain what that little text means. And the reason why the Genesis kind of blows it off is because at the time, the Book of Enoch was an oral translation, and it was well known. So they didn't need to really rehash it again. They just said, and in the time of Jared, the Book of Enoch, and they knew exactly where to find the stories for this. Now, why this matters is the Israelites, when they were in the desert, they would have the scapegoat. Have you ever heard the term scapegoat?
Sure.
Okay, so what they do is they would sacrifice 2 goats, okay, or two sheep or lambs, whatever. One of them, both had to be pure. One of them was put on the altar. The people all put their hands upon it, and the sins of the tribe went on that goat, and that goat went out to the desert. That goat went to Azazel. Okay, Azazel is basically Samael, is mentioned in the Book of Enoch. He's the one that caused men to learn how to use swords and weapons and to kill themselves. So all the blood of humanity has been placed upon him. In other words, they knew this. Not only knew this, they have to give him half their sacrifice. That's how powerful Azazel is, and Azazel still is the desert god. I personally think that when Christ went into the desert, that's who he met with. He met with Azazel, and Azazel is the one who he sat with for 40 days.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah,
I ain't heard that one before. That's a good perspective.
And the reason they don't want you to know this is because, again, King James wanted it to all be one entity, but it's not. We're fighting legions. When Christ pulled the demon from that kid, and the guy says, "We are legion, for we are many," that's not a name, legion. That's a Roman terminology for a legion of demons in this man. A legion. That's a lot.
Right.
That's more than one. So the Book of Enoch is very the Ethiopian Bible is very important. You should definitely take a look at it. It predates anything. It predates the King James version. King James version is 1611. Okay, Ethiopian Bible goes back much further, and it's got the Book of Enoch in it. And the Book of Enoch is mind blowing. So that's what I know about them. And again, if you know the history of Ethiopia, Queen Sheba went to visit King Solomon, and then afterwards, I think that they had sex. They had a secret marriage. She got pregnant. She came back and had a child, and that child later on became emperor. One of the legends says that Solomon came to see him, and Solomon brought the ark with him. And so what he did was he lined himself up with all of his soldiers, which all look identical to him, and he's told, and the son was given the instruction, find your father. And so he walked through the ranks and looked at each man, and then he came to King Solomon, walked up to him and says, "You're my father." And he was correct. I think his name was Melanek. And so Melanek took the ark and he made a secondary ark, Ark 2.0. And the spirit of the Ark of the Covenant went into that ark, and it's remained there ever since. So and they have that
And
ark
that's in
in Ethiopia,
Ethiopia. Yeah.
and the ark remains in Ethiopia. So there's a lot like King
But
Haile
they say
Selassie.
whoever guards the ark doesn't live that long, man. They always pass. And the
Yeah,
one they really don't
They
talk
go,
about
yeah,
the
they go
thing.
blind, and yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The one
So
person that said it's a thing of fire.
and so Haile Selassie is a direct descendant of that marriage. And so Haile Selassie was an actual king. He was the last real Messiah, which is basically a person that Mashiach is just one that is anointed. And so he was anointed king of Ethiopia, the last king of Africa. And so in his time, he was actually the last real king of the Lion of Judah. And the only people they really remember like that are the Rastafarians, who still honor him as who he was. Rastafari, his Imperial
Yeah.
Majesty. So that's kind of the thing about Ethiopia and the Bible. You should,
I have a
definitely
question.
buy a copy.
Solomon went and married Sheba. So do we have archaeological evidence of Sheba? Do you know that? I wish I could Google it at the same time I'm on here. It won't. It'll kick me off. Do you
I
know
think
if
it's
that they're because Solomon's not ever proven to be real. I'm just
well,
asking the question. Do they
yeah.
have
So that
archaeological evidence of that? Just for my
that
own knowledge.
as
Does
as
anyone know?
far as as far as I know, there is the line of kings of Ethiopia is starts goes back to the Solomon. I mean, it's called the Solomonic age. So it's the
No,
last
I
Solomonic
understand that,
line.
but I know that they
So
don't with Solomon. But if they did with Shiva, then later on, I'm gonna Google the Shiva. I didn't know nothing about Shiva or anything. So
yeah, yeah. I mean,
There's enough text about Solomon that leads me to lean towards that. Yes, that is real. Um, but text gets skewed, so you have to add that in there. But I definitely believe that Solomon was a real living being,
yeah,
and
I get my devil horns growing, bro. You want to get your meat? Either everyone's gonna leave the views, or we're gonna pile on. Either way, be like the Bible is fake. Fight me. No, I'm playing. I don't even want to do that. I've been quiet. I don't even because I like the. I appreciate the culture. I appreciate a lot about it.
yeah.
So I don't even want to. But
Well,
I was
I
just
mean,
asking the archaeological. That was a serious question with the Sheba thing. I'm gonna probably Google it
yeah,
later. Hopefully, I remember.
I've
again,
never heard of anything like archaeological, but I do believe that there's enough text written throughout the history, throughout the period that would tend to make me believe that yes, he did
Listen,
exist, and yes, that
my
actually
Hold on
happened.
okay.
one second.
I'm gonna
One
dive a little bit
second, Nick.
deeper because I bit a little
One
bit of the
second, Nick.
apple, so now I'm
Hold
gonna eat
on.
a little bit more.
Hold
All
on, Nick.
right.
I got hold on,
Would
Nick.
we believe?
Nick.
Nope.
Hold
Okay.
on. I gotta respond to the chat too. You ain't gotta get attitude. I'm working two chats here. The people asking me questions. I gotta respond. You know what I'm saying? Damn.
My man,
No, I thought you were
get
going
Um
to
to
say
work,
no religion.
Nah,
do your
what's in the
job,
art?
baby.
They're saying that the only person that really came out and spoke about it was one of the Guardians, and the only thing they really released that it's a thing of fire. As far as modern text, they're saying it's in Ethiopia. There's always a guardian. The guardian most likely is going to get cataracts and die not too long after they get there. So you're saying what's in the art? I can't tell you. Maybe one of these guys can tell you. From my research, it just says a thing of fire.
yeah.
Everybody over here on Plug Session, I need you guys to hit the like button. We finally getting some people in here. Hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We are on Debate Nation. Go ahead, though. You got the floor, Nick.
Radiation poison.
Bro, I don't even want the floor, bro. I don't even want the floor. what I was going to say, but I was just saying that just to be argumentative, just to be provocative, is if the Taliban they don't have literacy and they're all drugged out, you know, and they blow up statues in the name of their god. If
Wow.
those people wrote a book, would we believe them?
If they wrote it, but the Taliban don't believe in books. Just like the group Boko Haram doesn't believe in books. They don't believe in a written history. As far as I know, I could be wrong about that.
Right.
I mean, that's what they blew up the statues. Is they didn't want any history of before, because all of Afghanistan was under Buddhism, and they didn't want that to be known.
Mm-hmm. And then they blew that stuff up. That was ugly.
Yeah,
And just like what y'all was saying with the oldest Christian church and whatnot, like that's when you know it's ugly. When you're like, you know what, fuck humanity. Like you just go and blow up, you know, let's go blow up the Giza pyramids, you know,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
America.
That's what Napoleon did. Napoleon came in there and he distorted the faces of all the pyramids because he didn't want that to be realized. Like these are actually blacks that did this, and Napoleon was quite opposed to that. He's like to blow off their noses and destroy those statues, like deface them, so no one recognizes who those features really belong to. But the oldest Christian church are the Coptic Christians out of Egypt. Remember, Christ went to Egypt when he was a child. He's raised there, and then he left and went and did his ministry. And so in 29 AD, there was a Coptic church in Egypt. So they've kind of kept the faith from that ever since then. Like they date their belief back to 29 AD.
Does the Bible say he went to Egypt?
Yeah, the Bible says that when he was a child, they were they were in Bethlehem, right? And according to the Bible, even though again this could be conspiracy theory, but according to the Bible, the Magi, who are actually the Zoroastrians are the three wise men. They're Magi. Zoroastrians came and visited him, and they are part of this. We now know that there was the early Silk Roads went from Somalia up to Egypt, and they followed the northern stars to do it. But so there's a star alignment which said basically something happens in Bethlehem at a certain time. They follow that star alignment, stopped in Egypt, and according to the text, they went to visit Herod. It says we're following the star, and he goes, "Oh my God, when you find the child, let me know." But he was really planning on killing the child, and so an angel came to them in their dreams and says, "Don't go back and visit Herod. He plans to harm the child." And so they continue on to Egypt. And Christ, Mary, and Joseph went to Egypt, and Christ remained there until the death of Herod. That's in the scriptures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I forgot
I mean,
about that. That's true.
I'll have to investigate. I recall that, but I haven't read on it in a while. I will look that up as well.
The Coptics
Yo, I
are,
like your perspective in Christianity. I think it's the Rasta thing. I think you know a lot more than me on that part, and you like filling in gaps. I like that
good.
shit.
That's what one team, one fight. Plug Nation, baby.
Amen. Hey, look, y'all. I don't mean to be rude, but it's 3:00 in the morning now where I am, and I'm starting to nod. But I love you guys. And walk in the shadow of the Lord, man, and be one. Be happy because he's coming back for us, and we'll all meet again in heaven. And thank you for the civil discourse, man. You guys are great. And brother, I'll be on your channel soon enough. I've already subscribed and all that. You know what I'm saying? And we'll talk some more.
I'm gonna bug out too, guys. It was good talking to you guys. Thanks for the time, Plug. Nice talking to you. Nice talking to you, Casper. I'm gonna say one last thing, okay?
Okay.
Stay woke. Have a good day.
All
right, guys.
Nick, you got any last words for the chat, Nick?
No, man, nothing important. No, sir.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all, fellas.
Yeah, everyone take care, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all, man. All right, chat, man. We finna get ready to get up out of here. Maybe you have to get in here next time, family. You have to get in here next time. We had a great panel, great live, man. Go back and start. If y'all just now tapping in, go start this live stream over from the very beginning. If you're watching on Plugsation, we had a full show, 2 hour show before we opened up the panel and had this civil discourse or just conversation. And if you're watching on the Debate Nation channel, be sure to subscribe. We are on the way to 1,000 subscribers. Also, be sure to follow my main channel, Plugsation. Somebody dropped the plug too strong. Drop the Plugsation channel, drop at Plugsation over here so people can follow the main channel. Plugsation, we're coming up on what are we coming up on? 43,000. We're coming up on 43K, man, on Plugsation. Something like that, chat. But I do enjoy the convo. My thoughts and opinions of everything. Yes, carrying a protest should be legal. It looks like this administration is throwing everybody under the bus. I don't know what the hell Cash Patel is talking about. You shouldn't be able to carry loaded with extra magazines I don't know what the hell he is talking about. Stay vigilant, stay safe. Prayers for the country, man. Prayers for the country. Oh, I do want to say I did predict what the fuck Tim Walz was gonna do. Plug for president. I told him if we're gonna handle this situation diplomatically, Tom Homan was gonna be the out. Let Tom Homan come in there and just make a trade. Say you'll work with Tom Homan and tell him to get 1/2 to 2/3 of these people the hell up out of your city. That's what it looks like happened. They sent Bovino home. They scrubbed his position. It's not even a position anymore. Border Patrol is getting up out of there. Tom Homan's over there gonna handle the ICE. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna open up the jails. So yeah, give a little, get a little. That's what happened, man. That's what happened, man. Appreciate that, Joe. Appreciate that, Joe. Yeah, this is really crazy, though. Yeah, 2 weeks there'll probably be another situation, another incident. I hate to say it, but the incident that we have looming, that's gonna be the next narrative. It's gonna be the government shutdown for sure. I do expect the government to shut down. I don't expect the Democrats to give on the SAVE Act. I don't expect the Democrats to give on the funding for ICE, the extra $10 billion. I didn't think the Republicans would give it all, but seeing Tom Homan be able to come into Minnesota, that is a step forward. But I think the Senate might just say, fuck it, man. I think we're going to see Mike Johnson get up there day after day and say that they had a clean bipartisan spending bill that the Democrats had agreed to until that incident happened in Minnesota, and now they don't want to agree to it. And the Republicans aren't going to budge. The Democrats are going to say that there is no way that we can allocate another $10 million to the damn ICE budget, and we're not funding DHS. A lot of these senators are saying they don't want to give DHS a motherfucking thing, a dollar. So yeah, I do expect the government to shut down. In a troubling time, we don't need the government to shut down, but that's what the fuck is gonna go on. Hakeem Jeffries is gonna get up there and say that, look, man, all the Republicans have to do is just take out the funding, and we'll vote on that separately. And then Mike Johnson is gonna get up there and say, hey, they already voted for it. They already were ready to pass it. We just lost support when this incident happened, when our agents are being attacked. We just had an agent lose some fingers. We know the rundown. We just watched 40 days of this shit. Man. DHS has already been funded. Man, I was just on the DHS damn website. Know the hell that happened? I was just over there looking at it. Hold on. I got it right here. Library of Congress. Let me pull this shit up, man. I'm on congress.gov right now. Congressional Defense. Where the fuck is DHS at? Homeland Security. Here it go right here. Homeland Security. Initial passage. Homeland Security is C note right here. Yeah, it's on special rule. Yeah, Homeland Security passed the House. It has not passed the Senate. So yeah, Homeland Security, that DHS budget has not passed. It has not passed. It passed the House, but it's gonna get stalled in the Senate because I don't think they have enough. The Democratic senators are saying they're not finna give them a motherfucking thing. Yes, they do have the money that they got before. They have the money that they got before, but they were requesting 64 billion, I believe, and 10 billion of that was finna go to ICE again. Yeah, the big beautiful bill already passed. We talking about some other shit, Sally Jane. You arguing with me about some old shit. We know that money's passed. We know that they're already funded for that. We're talking about them asking for another 64 billion and 10 billion of that going to ICE, 20 million of that going to body cameras for ICE, 2 million of that going to de-escalation training for ICE. That's what I'm talking about. You talking about some old shit. We passed that. We know that shit passed. We're talking about some new shit, man. Some shit that's in the Senate right now. Yes, they already have 75 million, but they want some more. Man, you keep telling me that what they already got. I'm telling you, I understand what they already got. I'm telling you what's on the motherfucking table right now. Bro, I'm on congress.gov. Do I have to pull this shit up for you, man? Do I have to pull this shit up for you? I'm on congress.gov, Sally. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Fuck, bro. I hate when y'all come in here doing this shit. Stalling my show. I was getting ready to fucking leave, man. Hold on. Let me show you this shit, man. Hold on. Let me show you this shit, man. Alright, Sally. This one's for you, Sally. This one's for you, Sally. Hold on. Hold on, Sally. This one's for you. Now, let's scroll all the way down, right? Let's scroll all the way down until we see this shit. Where is it at? Homeland Security, right here. Y'all see that? Homeland Security. Now, let's scroll over. You see all these empty boxes up here? What the fuck are these empty boxes, plug? The fuck are those empty boxes over there? Hold on. Let me show y'all. Let me make it smaller so y'all can see all of this shit. For y'all say I'm tripping. Hold on. Let me make this shit smaller, bro. Make this shit a little smaller, bro. All right, now let me go back over. Y'all see it says Homeland Security right there, right? Homeland Security. Boom. Scroll over. You see these empty ass boxes over here? Scroll up. What are these empty ass boxes, man? Initial passage, Senate. Boom. It's not there. You see the Senate box is motherfucking empty. The Senate box where it says Homeland Security. See right here? The C note 12226, that's where it passed the House. If you scroll all the way up, you'll see it passed initial passage. It passed the House. The shit has not passed the Senate. So what the hell are you talking about? It has not passed the damn Senate, bro. It just hasn't, man. It just hasn't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else you want me to say. I don't know what else you want me to say, Chad. Hold on, man. Let me get back to the right thing. So y'all can see me. So yeah, the funding that you talking about, it just kind of is what it is. You know, I'm talking about. I guess we're talking about two different things, and that's okay. That's all right. We can be talking about two different things. Let me put my camera back up so y'all can see. right, chat. Boom. All right, chat. Boom. All right, we back. Now y'all can see me, man. Let me see what she said. Where you at, Sally? What you say, Sally? All right, Sally got up out of here, man. I had to pull out that Congress.gov for her ass, man. Sally got up out of here, man. It is what it is. All right, chat. But yeah, those were my thoughts and opinions, man. We are finna get ready to get up out of here, man. I just thought I would bring that to y'all, man. Sally ass kept trying to tell me that damn money hadn't passed, man. And I knew the money had passed, man. I knew what she was talking about, that old shit, man. I'm talking about that old shit. Sally, you see what I showed you then? You hear, Sally? You see what I showed you? How it passed in the House, but now it's stalled in the Senate. Right? The Senate has to vote on it. They have to get it passed by the 31st, I believe, or the government shuts down. Trump has to sign off on it. The Democrats are asking for them to take out the funding for ICE and vote on the funding for ICE as a separate issue. They want to vote on their DHS funding as separately. They don't want it included in the bill. And I'm saying Mike Johnson is not going to go for that shit. Mike Johnson and them are going to say, the Democrat, we already had y'all support. If this incident had never happened, we wouldn't have lost support. It's a clean spending bill. And we're going to have a government shutdown. And that's what the fuck's about to go on. Because the Democrats already had gave a little bit. The Democrats did what last time we had a government shutdown? They fought and fought and fought. They said they were stalling the shit out. Mike Johnson wouldn't swear in the representative from Arizona for the Epstein files. They were saying it's all about healthcare. Then they finally opened up the government and signed the shit. And guess what? Still didn't get fucking healthcare. They got a proposed vote on healthcare. Then they got the Epstein files. But what happened with the Epstein files? Not a motherfucking thing. Bill and Hillary Clinton didn't show up to court. So not a motherfucking thing helping with the Epstein files. Now let's go to this government shutdown. What are the Democrats holding out for? They don't want to fund DHS. They don't want the $10 billion to go to ICE. They want ICE agents to have to stop wearing masks. Correct. But Mike Johnson is going to say, well, we already had y'all support. Y'all were okay with the ICE agents wearing masks. Y'all just said that they had to be in uniform. They had to be all in uniform unless they were undercover. Y'all were going to give us the money. We were going to get the body cams, get the de-escalation training. Now we had the incident happen with Alex Pretty, and y'all don't want to do it anymore. So no, we will not take out the DHS funding. I think that's what Mike Johnson's going to say. Then Hakeem Jeffries is going to walk his ass right up there, right after him, and say, there's no way that we can fund ICE or DHS with what's going on to, and guess what? The government's going to be shut down. Income tax time is going to fucking come around when you get your income taxes. Shit. It is what it is, man. It's going to be going on. I don't know about them whistles. I don't think those whistles really mean nothing. I don't think they care about those whistles. A motherfucking thing, man. Straight up. Mike Johnson gonna get up there and say, there's no way we can take out this funding and make it separate. We've had some serious incidents. We had one agent bloodied up, his fingers were bit off, and all kind of violence and threats, doxing, and then Hakeem Jeffries gonna be like, we just watched 2 people get shot over the last week. There's no way we can have this. If the Democrats want to pass the funding bill and open up the government, they can open up the government tomorrow. All they have to do is take out the funding for DHS. And Mike Johnson is going to say, well, if the Democrats truly wanted the government open, all they would have to do is pass that bipartisan spending bill that we already had their support for prior to the Alex Pretty shooting. And we're going to go through that shit for another fucking 40 days. Come on, man. Let's be real. We know what the fuck going on, man. We know what's going on, man. We done seen this playbook, man. We've seen this shit before. He sent the Marines. I don't know who sent the Marines. I seen Tim Walsh sent the National Guard. I don't know of any Marines being sent anywhere. I ain't heard of that. Shit is gonna be crazy, man. Shit is gonna be crazy. You know what that's gonna mean? You know what that's gonna mean? More delays at the airport, more planes falling out of the fucking sky. The military is gonna need to be funded again. They just had to have that one guy privately funded that one time. It's just gonna be a shit show. It's gonna be a motherfucking shit show. Black people are gonna get involved. Long-time Trump supporters and shit that are gonna get involved because shit, it's hard times right now. Motherfuckers are going through hard times of all races. People that weren't involved in this shit, they're gonna be thrust into it, and all fingers are gonna be pointing at who? ICE. Both sides. Mike Johnson is going to get up there and say, we must fund ICE. Hakeem Jeffries is going to get up there and say, we cannot fund ICE. The motherfuckers who need food stamps and the child care fund and all of that shit, man, they're going to be looking like, well, damn, if it wasn't for this ICE situation, my life wouldn't be interrupted. Now you get other groups brought into the shit, man. Bruh, do y'all not see it? It's just like it's written in a book. It's like it's written straight out of a fucking book. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. Then we got some of the shit's been approved. On that congressional website, I can tell y'all what has been approved though, right here. Energy and water has been approved. That happened on the 23rd. Interior environment was approved on the 23rd. Commerce, justice, science was approved on the 23rd. Consolidated energy water was approved on the 15th. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. Then I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody get mad at me when I say shit. Look, man. The Dems gonna have to put up a hell of a fucking ticket too. You know what I'm saying? The Dems gonna have to put up a hell of a fucking ticket. The midterms are very crucial, but the Dems are gonna have to put up a ticket because MAGA is gonna vote with legacy. So if they run Trump Jr. as a damn vice president or something, that's gonna pull in the MAGA voters. Then you got JD Vance or whoever else they put at the front, man. So the Democrats gonna have a stellar ticket, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. Gavin Newsom's gonna go through a lot of scrutiny, man. Tom, I'm running my mouth. Just listen right now. Gavin Newsom's gonna go through a lot of scrutiny, man. AOC, man, I don't know, man. I don't think AOC gets the job done, man. AOC might want to just get Senate, try to get that Senate seat. But Gavin Newsom, they gonna pry through his life, man. The Dems need to get somebody. I know y'all tired of hearing billionaires and oligarchs, but The Dems gonna have to get somebody like a motherfucking Mark Cuban, man. Like Mark Cuban with Gavin Newsom as a running mate, that might be, you know what I'm saying, something that could potentially beat a Vance Trump Jr. card, man. But if the Dems just throw shit against the wall, man, they're gonna lose again, man. I know it's plug. We don't really want these people to lead the country. Well, I'm sorry. This where the fuck we're at right now, man. This where the fuck we're at right now. They're gonna have to have a damn powerful ticket, man. The last ticket that they had, man, just didn't have it. The last ticket that they had didn't have it. That's what I'm saying. Vance would be president, then have Trump Jr. on the ticket with Vance, man. That shit is gonna be a powerful ticket. The Dems are gonna have to put up a ticket that's just as powerful. They can't just go pick a motherfucker out of nowhere like Tim Walz. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to have a powerful ticket, man. And then if they're gonna run Gavin, they're gonna have to know that Gavin is gonna get drugged through the fucking mud about that cheating and shit, about the homelessness going up, about the money. Yeah, Gavin's gonna have somebody alongside him, or he's gonna have to be alongside somebody that got some shit going on. Now, if you want to say he has experience, he governed, the fourth largest economy in the world, and that shit, okay. Well, he needs to have somebody alongside him that not only can pull public opinion, understands marketing. Shit, I think, in my opinion, Mark Cuban and Gavin Newsom ticket will give Vance and Trump Jr. and them some trouble. That ticket will get them some trouble. A Gavin and AOC ticket, I don't see that giving that much trouble. I'm just being honest. I don't see that ticket giving that much trouble. I see you, Sonny. You're not going to be able to watch the live stream and be in the Discord. The Discord was just so you can hang out in the community. Sometimes we have calls. Sometimes we just, chat it up or whatever. And that's how you know I'm going live. Every time before I go live, I drop it in the Discord. So you will never miss a live stream. But you can't watch the live from the Discord as of right now. That was where I dropped the link in the back chat, the StreamYard link, so you could click it and come up here and talk if you wanted to. That's an easier way to get to it is through the Discord because the link is clickable. Yeah, AOC's making waves, but she's president, they'll pick that ticket apart. A Newsom AOC ticket, they'll pick that apart. If you listen to Mark Cuban got like progressive fiscal policies. He does want to tax millionaires. He doesn't want a flat tax for billionaires, though. He doesn't. When it comes to the border, he does want secure borders. He wants legal immigration, but he does want secure borders, not with the wall, but more technology and boots on the ground. So if you look at what Mark Cuban's talking about, he's not really talking about no bullshit. Now, when it comes to the oligarchy and the technocrats and shit like that, that is a concern. We have to see where he stands on that. But as far as just listening, like his policy on the border and fiscal policy and shit, houses, shit like that, like Mark Cuban doesn't have bad policy. It's just, is he gonna sell us out to the technocrats? If we're gonna say Cuban's gonna sell us out to the technocrats, we gotta say JD Vance gonna sell us out to the technocrats as well. It's kind of, just being honest. Elon Musk can't run for president. He's from South Africa. He can't run for president. And a lot of people don't know that Kamala asked Gavin Newsom to be a running mate. Before the walls, before all of that, Kamala was interviewing for a running mate. She asked Mark Cuban, would he be interested in being her running mate? Mark Cuban thought about it. If you look at the timeline, that's around the same time he sold the Mavs. Around that time, Kamala taps him, hey, are you interested in being vice president? He's like, I'm not a good number two. So that's why I'm saying shit. Mark Cuban run for president, Gavin Newsom vice president. They had experience there, whatever, or vice versa. I don't know. I think Mark Cuban will have to probably be, first on the ticket though. All right, Sonny. Who is this trying to get up here? Top Cat. What to do, Top Cat?
Yo, my bad, man. I had to run off for a minute. I apologize if you called on me, brother.
No, it's all good. Hell, we was wrapping it up, but I was just giving my thoughts and opinions, saying that if the Republicans are talking about Trump 2028, Trump 2028, if Trump's actually not gonna run for a third term and they're gonna run his son, even if his son doesn't come out as winning the primary, he could get tapped on to be vice president. So our JD Vance and Trump Jr. ticket, that's gonna be a powerful ticket because it's gonna draw in the MAGA and then whatever. So I'm saying a Gavin Newsom AOC ticket probably won't be enough. A Gavin Newsom and just anybody ticket probably won't be enough. So I'm saying if the Dems want to win, they should run Mark Cuban and let Gavin Newsom be VP, be his VP if they want to win.
Well, this is one we disagree on. I think he got to have the right. If the right person over the next 3 years pushes up, then I think it can happen with Newsom. But if not, you got the right strategy. But if a Crockett or that dude, somebody else can actually push up and do what the hell they say in the next 3 years, then they'll have a run for their money.
I don't know who. AOC looking like she probably gonna make a Senate run. She's really really young. I just don't know who's gonna emerge. It'll probably have to be somebody completely new.
Yeah, completely new.
Buddha just
Or
not gonna do it.
if
Buddha just not gonna do it. A Buddha just Newsom ticket is not gonna do it.
yeah, I'm kind of running with Crockett, man. I think if she can get better that's the
A
first time I
Crockett
ever.
Newsom ticket ain't gonna do it.
Why you think?
Because what you expect Gavin Newsom to be considered the moderate? Who's gonna pull in the moderates? Jasmine Crockett's gonna alienate all the moderates. Who's gonna pull in the moderates? Gavin? That's what Mark
Well,
Cuban is supposed to be there for, in my opinion.
Well, I do think that that's the one thing that I think that nobody thinks that can happen, but I think that she can do it because of who she is. And everybody might think it's kind of racist what I'm saying, but the ancient mama effect can happen in the next 3 years if she gets better at, handling herself at the podium.
I don't know.
Because I think she's switchable though, plug. Like I think, remember when we were first talking about it? Like even in this last little debate that she had, that I feel like wasn't a debate. I still feel like she already is showing that she can be lobbied, and that's all they need to have in the Democratic Party is somebody with a loud mouth and that can be lobbied and will be listened to, and then they have Newsom to stand up as the front of the opposition of what Trump done. And then you have your fighting party.
You said what are the economic successes? Mark Cuban has plenty of economic successes. Um, that's what I was speaking to as well. But if you're talking about Crockett and Newsom, you gonna have to ask Top Cat about Gavin Newsom economic successes. Crockett hasn't been in a position really to have any economic successes. I mean, honestly.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying on Newsom. It's not even a point of having successes. It's a point of managing a successful business or a successful state. So that would be what we're doing, and what we would even say Trump is doing. We are becoming unsuccessful. We're losing these situations, but we're still the most prominent. And if you want to hold that position, you got to have somebody that knows about prolonging the holding positions. Trump is moving forward. on the next situation, we might need to have somebody that can hold those positions and actually put policies in front to keep things moving forward.
I understand what you said. I think Jasmine Crockett has her place on the national level for sure. You know, she's already been there with the house. I just think it's too early. I just maybe in two couple years time things will change. But right now, I just think that she's, well, yeah, alienate that base right there, and I just think not even a diss to her. I just strongly believe the Cuban Newsom ticket is just better. It's just no way you look. No, there's no way I look at a Newsom Crockett ticket and think it's better than a Cuban Newsom ticket, just objectively.
Me also, but I just
I'm not
don't
saying
think.
I'm saying as far as winning, if they're gonna win. Now we can go into what's best for the country and all of that, but if we're talking about just flat out the Democrats want to get back in control, I think that's the ticket as of right now where we stand today.
I think it's the ticket too, in that aspect of a popularity and somebody knowing somebody's public distribution of what they've done in their life. But on another aspect, I'm looking at it as if he could be a supporter, if we can get them all three in a conglomerate pushing forward, I see things happening in that manner, no matter which way it gets switched. But I do know that Newsom being the number one voice of opposition right now, if there is a point where there's a renegade situation in the United States, he's going to be the number one pick.
And I see somebody saying they'll run James Talrico. See, James Talrico's probably not even finna be Crockett for this Senate seat. Now, he would fare better on a national stage. Don't get me wrong. Jamestown Rico would fare better on the national stage. I've looked into him. He has 108,000 donors. Most of them have given less than $100. So he has a national ring, but he's not as national as Crockett, so to say. But if James Talrico is 36, right? So he's young. This will be an Obama type ordeal. Putting just a guy that kind of came out of nowhere. Well, actually, Obama was a fucking senator. What was he, a state senator? I'm asking Top Cat.
My bad. I'm over here putting wood in this damn fire. He did something for Chicago. I don't. I think he was a senator
Yeah,
or
I'm just saying,
something.
but it wasn't a national senator. I think he was a state senator. So that would be a similar situation. If they run Talrico, he's a speaker. I believe he can handle himself well enough in discourse. But it would be a Cinderella situation again. It would be like a Obama coming from nowhere.
I think every political situation where we find a leader now is going to have to be a miracle situation with how Trump has put this thing into this position. And I don't think it's going to be nobody regular in politics to hop us to be the leader of this nation again. I think it's going to be a complete entertainment situation from now on.
Yeah, I think Tyreek will fare well on the national stage. I think Jasmine Crockett will fare well on the national stage, but she'll just be more polarizing. See, Tyreeko will get, the quiet votes. Tyreeko will get the vote for people that just, let's just be honest, there's some people that's just not gonna vote for a black woman no matter what the fuck she got going on. But I don't think that Talrico beats Crockett for this Senate run. I think Crockett runs away with it. That's just my opinion.
Me also, and it's just because he's too damn wholesome. That like he's what's the old boy that got smoked? Damn, I forgot his name. But for the Democrats, he's like him 2.0. Like he's so he's
John Kerry.
riding. No, the old boy that got popped at the college.
Oh,
What's
Charlie
his name?
Kirk.
Yeah, he's like the Charlie Kirk of the Democratic Party that made it there, but he's so
I
perfect.
think
Everything that he
so.
tries to say is so perfect that it's not going to fit anybody that's being realistic. Everybody ain't into this Care Bear stare ass world. Somebody's going to have to deal with these situations head up, and that's why people get upset with Trump. But no matter how you feel, a lot of situations that's been put on hold, Trump is dealing with head up.
He gives me more just Obama vibes. Just honestly, he gives me more Obama vibes than that. Just like the way when you watch his campaign ads and the way he had it in front of the church with the black kids sitting in the back of the truck and just the way he speaks. Obama was a calm speaker, but he could hit those points. Like he was a really good orator. I believe Talrico has studied. That's where when we watched the debate between him and Crockett was, polarized, and she had some of those oops moments, but it was fun. It was like it made you feel like she's a real person. But it was like Talrico was on business. He was on time, and it's like he prepared for that.
He is completely AI. Fucking. I mean, I expect to see him in a bow tie soon. It's to the point where I see him like he could be slinging bean pies for the opposite side. Everything he has been told to say, everything he's been schooled politically from the gate. Where this girl actually does come from a point of a different culture, and that's why it's hard for her to sit on these points and not ride on her. Basically, it's hard for Crockett not to freestyle where this dude knows how to run the script. He's completely drama, fitted for the situation. Just like what he said, like, oh, because I had type 1 diabetes and this and that. Well, I hear what you're saying, but I want to know what you're doing. I got plenty of people I know with type 1 diabetes, and I've never heard your name as you being an advocate. Heard the damn Quaker Oats man talk about diabetes a lot more than your ass has since you've been out. I don't know you as an advocate for that. So even though you're saying you'll fight these medical corporations and everything, you might be in cahoots with them. Where when you look at a Crockett, even if she is in cahoots with him or not, she has an appeal to you that makes you feel like she goes through the same things you go through. She goes through the McDonald's line and I wanted a strawberry shake and I got a vanilla, and she complains and goes through the same things. Where when I look at him, no matter what he's saying, his appeal to the United States and those other voters just doesn't seem like you've ever been in my neighborhood.
Like even when he answered the UBI question so quickly, like that was one thing that I didn't agree with. But I feel like that could get him, a nod with the DNC.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at a
Whereas with
couple,
Crockett was more towards, where I was, let's waive, right, let's give people livable wages. But
and
the way
and
he
that,
just, popped off, yeah, when UBI, that's shit, that's shit, that's what the Democrats have been known to push forward and push forward.
yeah, and he has a whole bunch of definite positions that he wouldn't take, and I watched that. Like, so you wouldn't take just a definite position. You said, I feel this way and feel that way. I know that it's a communicable situation. It's not one side or the other side that's going to make this work. It's going to have to be a communicable situation, and I seen that in him, and that's sort of what you want to see in government once somebody's in there. But right now, this is gangbang shit. So that's why I said it wasn't a debate. They were just sitting up there, basically making mission statements about certain debatable subjects, but they didn't debate each other on what they would do or what was going on. They said what they did in the past and what they supported or not. They never said anything about what they would be doing moving forward, except supporting the same things that they were already talking about in their mission statements.
Okay. They said you do know that Crockett hasn't struggled in life, right? A lot of politicians haven't struggled in life.
I'm not gonna say that I believe that because just because you're talking about monetary sense, what struggle is, that means like I keep telling people, I've been black for a long time and I could have had $1 million right now since I was born and got $1 million every week. It wouldn't have made a difference in certain parts of my struggles in living in this country. It wouldn't have made a damn difference. Just wherever I went, I would have experienced the same things to the volatility of what I could provide to make anybody else happy. Yeah, the struggle gets less when I can provide you with what makes you happy, but it doesn't change how you think about me or who I am in this position. There's still people that look at Crockett and say just because she has a weave, she doesn't she doesn't deserve to be considered as a person that has intelligence. And it
So
doesn't
he
matter
said
where
she
you're at.
never run a business. I don't think Talrico's run a business either. Wasn't he a school teacher?
And then what is there in the business, whether you ran it to fail or ran it to be great? That's just a business. Running social situations are completely different than running a
Crocker
business.
was a lawyer. Tyrico was a school teacher. So
Yeah, she's dealt with the monetary situations and the point of the physical situations differently, whether it was civil or criminal. And that's what I'm saying. We have to respect that point of it. And she can put up a good argument. I thought she had a big problem because of how spaced out all these different things she had to address. But when she comes at one situation or one particular thing that she has to address, just like her profession as being a lawyer, each situation is different. When she comes at them individually, she's pretty intimidating. So that's why I'm hoping that she can expand, and I really believe that she can. She just has to have the right people around her and get coached in the right means to appeal to the whole United States. But I do see a point in her. As tough as everybody thinks she is, I see her as the most bargaining and dealing with the Republican Party the most. As much as they think that it won't be, that's the one that's going to consider what you're saying the most. The ones that sitting up there that even look like they're coinciding with some of the stuff that you're saying, they're completely opposite. They're completely schooled in it. She's the only one that's going to say the lesser of two evils.
okay, okay.
Yeah, but go
Nah,
ahead.
nah, you got it.
No, I was gonna say, but like I told you earlier, everybody has their positions. Like Steve, I love hearing his position because he holds a tight position. I heard some good discussions earlier, and I heard people talking about stuff. Once it gets into the point of talking biblical, I get into it a little bit more. I've been shutting my ass up on the other ends because they get into my skin and I get pissed off. So I've been trying to be a little bit more, you know, have a little bit more ethics about different things and shut my ass up and just hear where people's coming from. But there is a point where you can get focused on things too much that you don't see what's right in front of you. And right in front of us right now is being able to take care of ourselves. And that's why I don't see how people are so into these politics, but then saying they're so poor and they're going through so much and they're going through so much crisis. When you're in crisis, you don't have time to think about the politics of everything when you're sitting in the bread line. And this is what I keep telling everybody else. Well, everybody was sitting in the bread lines during the Great Depression. My people couldn't even go get bread there. So none of this is new to certain people. And what they were saying, what everybody would be affected by, like when we were talking about moving into the new age and how things are going to be. And he said that this would be an experimental age. Well, check the history of the world and you'll find out that all the experimental ages since basically European stuff has been in control, those experiments have been on us. They all are tested on us, all the way to the damn internment camps. They were all experimented on us. Shark Island in Africa. That's you looking at your first concentration camps. They were all us first, but then they get disappeared and put on these people as if they were the first ones that happened to. The Herrera people, Germany had did this before. They did this to them. They had did this to the other people in Africa. So I say that everybody should be looking at history to learn certain situations. And if these are experiments, it's going to happen to us first. What's happening to everybody else right now happened to us first. So we have to be looking for the next first. The reason why they put those chips in those people in Africa first before they put it in anybody in Europe or anybody in Asia. Everything that's
Okay, they
happened.
just tried to do some shit in Africa again, and they voted it down. They banned it.
Hmm.
Rwanda, where the fuck was it at? It was somewhere over there. Bill Gates and they was trying to do something, test something on them Africans, a new vaccine.
Yeah, and they put the chip in them already. They were already paying during the Ovid stuff. They were already paying them. You get what I'm saying? Like giving them incentives to get this chip in them so that they could pay with the chip. So they were doing that. We're talking 3, 4 years ago already. They had the chip already in their wrists, and they were just waving to pay their money already. And these are supposed, and it's crazy because these are supposed to be third world messed up countries and stuff. Then why are they getting technology that's way ahead of us because we don't accept it? But they accept it because they don't have a choice. So they're still exploiting people.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I still think that Mark Cuban Gavin Newsom ticket the strongest. Though.
I like that ticket a lot more, but when it sits up, let me put it this way, straight up, the female vote and you got the liberation vote and you got the LBG, whatever. No matter if she doesn't go with the exact policies that they want or she tries to agree or whatever, I feel like they're gonna roll with Crockett before they roll with um any other,
Shit, they gonna
duo.
roll with Democrats regardless. Those people gonna roll with Democrats regardless. They gonna vote
But
blue no matter what.
yeah, well, kind of. Some of them will. That's what I'm talking about. The ones that is a situation for. So America, just being truthful, even if you LGBTQ, you still have your racial situations. You still have your different situations, your feminine and male, masculine, and feminine situations. And she kind of has that on lock with the aspect of being able to express herself. I've been watching it. Like there's people that just they can understand what she's saying more because they're in those positions or the way that she speaks, translate into their brains differently. And that's what I see not having it happening with Mark Cuban. And I feel like that one situation that he had in the NBA situation will be a problem because I know for people my age and younger, him what he did with Kenya Martin, that was a problem. Like I really did not like that shit. Like you calling that boy a thug and whatever, calling telling his mama he a thug. Now you're supposed to be somebody that's supposed to run this country. You got that big asterisk in front of you.
I guess. I don't know. I don't think people will really give a fuck about that, honestly. More honesty.
I,
I
I
mean,
don't think they'll care, but it ain't
unless the
about
people. I'll go ahead. I'm talking
no.
about winning. That's why I was trying to leave, like what's the morality out of it for this convo. I'm talking about strictly what ticket can beat Vance Trump Jr. or Vance Rubio.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't see nobody right now except for them two. And if they all come together and say whichever works to win, we use it, it can work. But if Crockett and somebody starts battling over it, or anybody starts battling over it, that's when they're gonna lose their position. There has to be a complete unity to whoever wins. It doesn't matter on the Democratic side because they've been so weak for so long. So it's not a point of just one person doing it. They all have to come together and come behind that person so they have the support of each group that they could bring to the situation. If not, they're going to lose again.
That's what I'm saying. They saying Newsom will not win. He'll win if he on that ticket with Mark Cuban at the one and he at the two. You said Crockett for Secretary of State. I don't know. She'll probably get if the Democrats take control. She'll probably get a spot on the cabinet.
Yeah, and that's all that matters if you know that you have the right people all in the cabinet. Even if they're at different positions, their advisory point can actually bring things to being better. But you want to have somebody there that the people are going to think, consider what they're saying and consider the situation. Cuban, there's the only thing I see as a disconnect is your ass is rich as hell. Crockett, I don't know all her disconnects, but just her presence and how she speaks lets you know that she is dealing with a different point of things.
I'm
And
just saying though, it's like shit. JD Vance rich as hell, motherfucking Trump Jr. rich as hell, Gavin Newsom in a $7 million crib. Like Jasmine Crockett got a ring on her finger that's bigger than my damn phone. Like
yeah, yeah, that's definite politics is, but that's what I'm saying. It's all about appeal because that's what I said in the beginning. I don't give a shit about none of them. If they were sitting in the backyard with me right now, either y'all has to go fucking turn the stake or get the fuck out the way. Like they're not people that I trust in no manner on a regular civilian point, but for them being propped up in the positions that they are, this is how I feel it should go. Like I feel like if there's going to be an appeal to American people, Crockett's going to have it. I feel if it's appeal on the business side of thing, and you want to get Republicans more to go behind the litigation that might be put forward, then Cuban.
All right. Well, all right, Top Cat, man, we finna get up out of here, man. It's getting late on my end, too. It's coming up on 4, man. I'm gonna let you get a chat, some last word.
Oh, my last words is do your research on situations and understand that everything that you're looking at in front of you doesn't have to be what it is. Yes, the same person that everybody's looking at as an angel right now that then got shot or whatnot. Well, shit. When I looked at a sketch, you look like a damn serial killer to me. You are your own person. You make your own choices. So you better be right inside first, rather than worrying about what you see making your decisions. If you know that you're right as a person, then you know you're going to make better decisions, and that'll help everybody, America and around the world. And that's my last shit. You can box me out.
All right, chat, man. We finna get up out of here, man. We had a great episode, man. If you watching on the Debate Nation channel, be sure to start it over from the beginning of the debate. If you watching on the Pluxation channel, start it over and you will start with the full 2-hour episode before we got to the debate. See how that works? That's why you need to subscribe to both of the channels. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We will be back live tomorrow. I'll see y'all on the next one. Good night, chat.